So if you're a longtime listener fan, I don't know why. I don't know why I said longtime listener fan. So if you've been a longtime listener, you remember the era where, I don't know who made up this rule, but we would start off every episode with a clip, like a social media clip or a viral clip or something.
Yeah.
And then I was just laughing off camera because like sometimes like we'll forget to talk about the clip. And so it was just like a random clip for no reason. Who made up that rule? Was it SaVon?
It wasn't a rule. It was structure.
It was definitely your idea.
I tried
right?
to give it like structure.
Random ass clips.
But like sometimes it'll just be a random Charlemagne clip and we just like don't acknowledge it again.
And just go right into the episode like, today Jay-Z purchased.
In production, we call that a cold open.
Oh, come on, cold open.
Yeah, no,
It's part of growth.
We tried. Like we've had a lot of phases of this pod.
Variations.
We had a lot of different things that we've thrown at the wall. Some of it stuck. A lot of it didn't. Like I do think one thing that will stuck are these chairs. These chairs are comfy as shit.
Yeah, if you're watching us on YouTube right now, we are improving the studio, and I am a fan of these seats.
Guys, look at these chairs. Please tune into YouTube. It's worth it just to check out our new chairs.
Yeah, they feel really, really good. Speaking of changes, really quick, before we get into this episode, I feel attacked. Personally, mentally. I don't know if, as a black man, we fight and we wake up each and every day.
Oh my God.
And we are faced with racism.
What else?
It's terrible.
You walk into the workspace, women, ladies, I know y'all deal with sexism. And it's just one thing I haven't really faced in my life just yet, but I feel like I'm on the cusp of it.
Can I guess? Ageism.
Welcome.
Ageism.
They started calling you
it's
Unc?
starting to I haven't been called Unc yet,
Not yet.
Unc is crazy.
Although
Uncle SaVon.
Nah, we there though.
I do warn, especially like ladies, I do warn people when I take my hat off, it looks like Uncle Phil. But
You don't actually say that to me.
I definitely do.
Don't say
No, you
that
don't.
about yourself.
It's the truth. I don't want you to be
No.
surprised by nothing on
SaVon,
me.
you don't look like Uncle Phil, SaVon.
You don't even got the same weight as Uncle Phil.
Just the head. Just the headpiece.
But see, that weight went to Uncle Phil's head as well.
Okay. He
You
got a
don't
fat
got
head.
But also,
he did.
you're not even that old. 30 is a great age.
It
But
is.
it's Uncle age.
But you know what it is? The era.
Yeah,
No,
it is.
I don't even know if it's Uncle age. I just know this era is like expediting aging. Like I feel everything is becoming older, faster. Trends are coming, going really
People
quick.
are forced to grow up faster. and
Things
stuff.
are just happening really, 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 really fast. So on Twitter this past week, a X, a Blue Sky, whatever you use, hey, we're gonna get there. But I was on social media and I saw somebody being criticized for using LOL.
Oh God.
Now me,
in the end of times.
I still use LOL pretty frequent. Like I didn't know that was a thing. It was like, oh, I could tell you're a millennial because you use LOL at the end of your sentence. Like,
Wait, what?
it was a.
I don't pay
Y'all didn't see
any
that?
mind to those
No,
people.
I ain't see-
Well,
but-
I will say, SaVon, do you capitalize your LOL?
I do both.
That is giving a
I do
little
both.
boomer-ish.
I do a little bit.
You don't.
Wait,
you don't.
wait.
You don't capitalize
This
LOL.
motherfucker called boomer-ish.
You capitalize your LOL.
Once in a while.
The whole word.
That's
It
kind of crazy.
depends
That's crazy.
on
That's crazy.
if it was really funny, I might capitalize the whole LMAO.
No, just put the laughing emoji.
I feel like capitalizing an LMAO is fine, but capitalizing the LOL does give boomer.
Okay.
LOL.
Yeah, I don't.
That's how it feels.
But when I do see that he puts the all caps, I'm like, all right. In my mind, he really laughed. Like,
Yeah,
he
that
chuckled.
was pretty funny.
But
It's a hearty chuckle.
I normally capitalize the LMAO, but
Okay.
just using LOL
Yeah.
in general was being shamed. And I felt attacked
What?
because I'm
Really?
like, yo, I still use that.
Wait, so does everyone.
Yeah.
She was like,
I
oh,
do.
you're showing your age. You're such a millennial. Like,
So what does she use?
I don't know.
She's
I
probably,
don't talk to her.
if she said that, she's probably Gen Z, right?
I would assume.
Let's get into their shit real quick. They have LML, and I just learned this one. That's how you know I'm a unk just with you. LMBO. I thought y'all was.
What does
No,
that mean?
that's not a
Laughing
Gen Z
my
thing.
butt
That's a like laughing my butt off.
Yeah.
But that's people who don't want to curse. That's
Come
not
on,
a Gen
y'all.
Z thing.
Curse y'all. I ain't know that.
And
Or just like
LML
don't
is-
use it.
Yeah. And LML is laughing mad loud, right?
LML is laughing mad loud. Yes.
But that's not like a new thing though.
It's not. So I'm saying, what else are they using? No, there's another one. I
And then
saw.
WTW.
What's the word?
What's the word?
What's the word?
Facts.
kinda
I don't
old.
mind that one.
I know,
That's easy.
it's cool, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like,
Is that a millennial
there's certain
thing?
things that, yeah, it is. Like,
What?
I text my younger sister, WTW. She hit me, hey, say I need some money. I said, hey, WTW.
What's the word?
And she said, what?
Oh, we're cooked.
And I'm like, wait, what is going on?
We're losing
Yo,
recipes.
we're
Losing
losing
recipes.
fucking recipes. It's happened really fast.
Oh my gosh, but one thing I love from Gen I low-key love Gen Z, but I'm biased because I love my little sister and she's so Gen Z. But I love when they use aura. I like
that's
it.
they thing.
I think it's cute.
I
Like the
fuck
new
with it.
slang,
It's
you know,
cool.
aura.
That was like when
oh,
we
he
use
got aura.
swag. When we use swag now,
like
it's
LeBron
aura.
has aura. Like I like it. I don't mind the aura. I like it. I like it.
Aura's the new vibe.
like vibey.
Yes.
It's the new vibe.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
vibe.
vibe is done, by the way.
Killed. Now that's some boomer shit.
Vibe is over.
Why?
But I
Like,
think,
what's the vibe?
I think using it, overly using it is like, it's over. Like if you say vibe more than one time, I'm like, all right, you don't have vocabulary.
Oh,
you
like, let's catch a vibe.
Yeah,
Like,
you
yeah.
lack a vocabulary. When everything and every time you talk to somebody and say, hey, I really want to have a good time, let's catch a vibe. Like, no, expand your vocabulary. It's more things out there
Yeah, expand your slang.
than just vibes.
Yeah.
Than just vibes.
But
yeah, LOL, it caught me this week. I don't know if y'all still use LOL. I'm gonna die with LOL. I'm sorry to,
Yeah,
tell you.
We on the
Seriously.
same boat.
So we all here subscribe to LOL.
Absolutely.
But not the capital LOL. You are on your own island with that.
Yeah, we not LOL. Nah.
Yo, remember
No.
G2G?
Gotta go.
What do?
BRB is done though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't say that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
I'll say
we
it like
phase that out.
I'll say it like sarcastically. I'll be like BRB guys,
Got you,
but not
yeah.
seriously.
But not
like,
actually.
So
yeah.
in a group chat, we all talk pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Who has the worst texting etiquette and aesthetic?
Uh-oh.
I want to say something.
Go ahead. Go crazy.
Go
Reg.
say it.
If it's me, it's whatever.
Nah, it's me.
Okay, fine. It's Pierre
Damn.
because
Word?
I want to discuss this as a family. It's not
She
like
hates me.
offensive, like nothing like that.
Let's do it as a
doing?
I
family.
have a question for Pierre.
Talk to me.
So it specifically he said text etiquette. So I would like, this is a town hall. Feel free to
Oh, damn.
defend yourself. But what I don't understand, Pierre,
Okay.
is that okay? We're in a group chat.
Yes.
I have my notifications on because this group chat is very important. We have very important updates.
True.
Let's say we have a cool conversation at like 1 p.m. Here Pierre comes at 8 p.m. and he goes back and he ha-has and likes and hearts and likes and like 50 messages. I'm like, Pierre, what is the point of this? Like, I don't get it.
You
Please
need it in
explain
the
yourself.
moment.
In the yes, but then my logic is like, I'm not gonna go back and see, oh my God, Pierre, you ha-ha this text, thanks. Like, what is your logic behind that? I've always wanted to ask you this.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's a great question. Thanks for bringing it up. You know, we all need to know each other as part of the group chat. So thank you for bringing this up. So usually what I do is if I'm not near my phone and I just go back to it and I just see 100 messages, I'm like, all right, damn, what did I miss? So I go back and read it.
Mhm.
And then those are my live reactions in the moment. I do
But it's like
understand.
now my phone is blowing
Yeah.
up.
It's
So
not
now-
the moment no more.
not great insight, right?
Great insight.
And the reason why I'm emphasizing that it's a great insight is because a lot of times when I'm like busy doing stuff on my phone and my other group chats are going off and sending me the notifications, I could put it on Do Not Disturb, but I'm just like, yo, come on, like, just stop. And I wind up muting the group. So I'll take accountability from now on, and then if I see it and I go back, I'll just laugh to myself.
Laugh to yourself.
To
No,
myself.
you could
Yeah, keep
you
it-
could keep doing. Honestly, I don't mind. Like, it's not something that like bothers me, but I
If
just
it's
want
not
to
in the moment.
I just wanted to talk to you about it. You don't have to stop it. I don't care.
Yo, Reggie wants you to laugh to yourself. Bro.
Facts.
Yeah,
She said, yo, we don't want that in.
She's like, yo, laugh by yourself.
I'm kidding.
in
Pierre.
your
I'm
room.
so dead ass. You could keep doing it.
Nah, you good.
But I have a trend too. I write in lowercase. Like,
I've known that.
yeah, like all the time.
Okay,
Why?
but
You feel like you're better than us?
do you
I
do
don't know
it?
how you got that math, but I do have a theory.
Okay.
I'm a very energetic person.
Okay.
I show my energy. I show my vibes. Damn, SaVon, I'm old.
Your
Sorry,
aura.
use vibe. And I feel like when I'm texting or on social media or just using my phone, that is the one time where I can come off just a bit dialed down.
But are you trying to come across dialed down when you're really not? You don't have to hide yourself.
No, but you guys are in the chat with me. When I'm LMFAO and it's LMFAO, I'm one of those. Like I feel it. But naturally, like I'm a pretty animated person for the most part.
You
like
are.
if I'm not tired, so that's the one time I try to, scale it back just a little bit. Like, yo, calm down,
So,
man. Just calm
instead
down.
No, you don't
of
have to do that.
capitalizing the first letter in a sentence,
Yeah.
your idea of being calm
Yeah.
is using all lowercase.
He's like, yo, I'm
Yeah.
chill.
That capital letter just feels too excited.
I want to say excited. It does feel formal.
It feels so formal.
But I will say, Alex, I feel like sometimes when people force themselves to lowercase everything,
Right.
I'm like, do you think you look cooler?
Nah, my
Not
phone
you,
already knows it.
because you don't do it all the time.
Yeah.
No, he does.
But like, let's say like younger
my
kids,
phone knows how to do it now.
when younger kids like
Yeah.
only write in lowercase, I'm like, Do you think this makes you look cooler? Like, what are you doing?
My phone has learned me.
As a journalist, Regi,
Yeah.
does this bother you?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
It's texting. It's not a formal setting.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been doing that for a while.
That's my Gen Z shit.
I can't
I'm not a
wait.
Gen Zer though. It's
Did
crazy.
you not like it?
No, I don't have it's just an observation.
You've been doing that for a while.
Yes, it's just an observation.
Facts.
You know,
Facts,
like
facts,
when you
facts.
talk to people often, you just pick up on certain things. Like
Facts.
I'm sure y'all pick up on some of my text habits. I don't know what they are. I feel like
LOL.
pretty-
You like saying like typing a sentence and then putting a space between the paragraph
Oh.
and then texting another sentence.
Oh no.
But I don't mind it. That makes your message very like clear.
I thought I didn't have a issue with you. I do.
Oh.
When SaVon writes like 3 words and ... Oh my God.
Wait, what?
You've never seen SaVon be like, hey guys, I'm doing great. ... And then goes into more words in the same text. I'd be like, where were you going? What did the 3 dots resemble? Where did
I don't mind that.
we might be paying a little bit too much attention to each other. Because wait, hold up.
No,
What does
hold
that
on.
mean?
The audience is probably like, "Are you guys okay? Like, why are you guys like so frustrated with each other?"
tendencies? Trying to get our tendencies.
That-
I'd be like, where is he going?
Wait, I feel like I do the ... sometimes too.
Okay, I gotta group both of y'all then. Where are y'all going?
Wait, there's a rest of a text message.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we're going, Alex.
But the ... are you leaving it on like a... What's that? A
Suspense.
suspense? Yeah, what's the suspense for?
Yeah.
You trying to scare us?
No, I just need you to make sure you're gonna read the next sentence that I say. ... means I'm gonna leave you on a little cliffhanger before I give you the real.
That's what the eyes emoji are for. The 2 eyes.
But the eyes emoji can be misconstrued depending on the time of day and who you're sending them to.
See, yo, I got trauma in my life. You can't be doing that, yo. When I see the eyes and the ... my heart start racing like, what's going on, yo? We good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Look at us paying attention to each other.
Well, did everybody air out their
Did we get
agreements?
it? Our tendencies.
And another thing.
And one more thing.
God damn it. Now, what's going on, y'all? It's the Need to Know podcast. What you need to know, when you need to know, on the Need to Know podcast. I go by the name SaVon. Thank y'all for joining us. As you can see, my alliance is on my chest. We're going to get into that a little bit later. But I go by the name SaVon. SaVon, and the N is for nifty.
Hey.
Because
Yeah, you good, right?
Yo, what's up?
I'm sorry, that just caught me off guard. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I said that.
You never know what's gonna come with the end, bro.
No, it just like was such a like you pulled that word from like the deepest part of my memory. Wait, what does that mean again?
Nifty, you just
Kinda
being
fly.
real nifty, like just you maneuvering through things, maneuvering through
Nifty.
life.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be very
Like
nifty.
agile.
Yes, in the way that I go about throwing on a new cape. All right, it's gonna be extremely nifty. I gotta pay attention. I could have used the N for nigger,
Oh my goodness gracious.
Thank you so much
But
for using it for
why?
nifty.
but
Why?
there's other N words that could be used. So thank y'all for joining us. Yes, the N is for nifty. I can't wait to get into it. And I am always accompanied by my brother, my sis.
Yo, it's good, y'all. It's your boy A, as always, the Paco Rabone Poppy. Never alone, always with the posse.
Hello guys, it's me Regi, and today I'm ambushing them with a new segment.
Uh-oh.
It's very quick. And then I'll pass it off to Pierre.
So,
But it's called Reggie's Riddles. I have a riddle for you guys, okay?
Oh, shit.
What is a word in the dictionary that is always spelled incorrectly, no matter which dictionary it is?
That's easy.
Don't say it if you know the answer.
that's always
Then let them
spelled.
guess first if you didn't actually know the answer, Pierre.
It's always spelled incorrectly, no
Mhm.
matter the dictionary.
It's not that difficult, guys.
Incorrectly.
I mean, yeah.
Incorrectly.
Y'all can't let me have shit. Wait.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good
I'm
riddle.
so
though.
sorry.
I mean, it's right there.
I've been waiting to do this all day.
No, that was a. Don't forget, you're like dealing with superior men.
Oh.
So-
wait.
Episode about to come out soon.
Okay, that's a little insider for our next episode, guys. And I just want to let the record show that Pierre is actually the first one that got it, but I just told him not to say it. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, I'm handing it off to Pierre.
I love Reggie.
What's up, guys? I think you'll see coming up, but I think for my intros, I'm gonna just start off every time with a quote. Today's quote
yeah.
is "Power unharnessed will always only be potential."
I know that's right.
So if you feel like you have potential, you just need to put yourself in an environment where you will be able
Flourish.
to have it harnessed properly. Yep, that's my quote for today.
All right, I
let's
like
go.
that. Shout out to you, P. Thank you for being here with us.
What up, man, guy?
Really, really, really quick.
Yeah.
We did talk about our Thanksgiving episode. And as we discussed the Thanksgiving episode, I did bring in my library from home. Now, that library consists of 9 books, okay? The fuck is so
Because it's just so exact. Like, when you ain't rounded up, you ain't want to get a 10 one?
Because it's not 10. I don't want to lie to you.
Yeah.
I have 9 books.
An honest, superior man.
I own
and he could read
9 books that I've actually physically read. The 10th book, I do have 10 books. The 10th book I didn't read. I brought that from the swag box from work.
Okay.
It is the...
Aging
Is this what
yourself.
they have at work?
Yeah, y'all don't have swag boxes?
What is a
No,
swag
I'm
box?
not that privileged
You
to
have a
have that.
swag,
Same.
a swag closet. Like swag.
So you could just go pick up like Jordans and shit in it?
That's what they call it. Like the swag room.
No, it's like a
Oh, I've
lost and
heard
found.
that. I've seen a lot of music labels have
Yeah,
that.
you get like merch from...
SaVon, stop playing in the lost and found, man.
It might...
That nigga playing in the lost and found.
Well, I got a Game of Thrones book, Fire and Blood, from the
Yeah.
swag room. So that's the only book that I didn't actually read, but I watched the show, so I feel like I know what's inside
Full circle.
there. But in my library, it does consist of some really notable people, some really dope books that kind of touch me in different ways. Again, we're going to talk about the Superior Man on the next episode. But today, I'd be remiss if I did not mention, if I did not honor and highlight not only my co-host and my friend and somebody I consider a sister, somebody I love dearly, somebody who contributes to this podcast in no other way,
Facts.
but also somebody that she loves. The day of this recording is Angie Martinez Day.
Oh yeah, I did see that on my
Round
Clap
of
it
applause.
up.
Hey,
Let's
clap.
clap it up, man.
And I can see y'all from home. Clap.
Yeah, make sure
Clap
I
for
clap it
Angie.
up for a real one. Angie Martinez is in one of my 9 books that is
voice.
in my personal library. She means a ton to the culture.
Legend.
And I feel like that is a proper way to start the podcast because we are music based. She is the standard. She is the benchmark, the pinnacle,
rapper.
the rapper,
Yeah.
the video. You know what I mean? She was giving it up.
Getting it
Yo,
off.
she
Former
was-
Alyssa Ford.
I'm trying to
It
tell
was
you.
Angie.
She was in movies. She was just. That's why I love her career because there's no one linear way to do it. Like she's literally a journalist, very
My favorite
like,
people.
just known for her integrity. But she was in music videos. She was rapping. She was singing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, just do whatever you want to do. Do what's true to your heart because
love
there's no
that.
blueprint for this.
She's not limited. And she surprised the fuck out of me. I went to Complex Con. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Not
I
Complex
was about
Con.
to say.
Not Complex
That shit
Con.
just happened too.
Yeah. No, what was the other con?
Comic Con?
Nope.
Wasn't Comic Con?
What was the shit I went to? at
I'm out of
Brooklyn?
cons.
Wait, what?
It was a festival. It was like the Black...
Culture Con.
Culture
There we
Con.
go.
I love how I didn't even go. You were like, what did I go to
I'm like,
again?
what the fuck? Nah, I popped up. I went to Culture Con and she was one of the hosts for one of the panels with Remy Ma,
Fire.
and a panel of other people. So it was nice to see her in that space. And I didn't know she had a day. So it was dope. And I think I haven't heard anybody else acknowledge her day. I want to make sure we acknowledge her day. So if you go on Google, you can look it up. This is an official day. The Angie Martinez Day
It's kind of ill.
is
Go.
today of the recording. Shout out to her. And yeah, let's get into this week because we got a ton to talk about.
Oh my God.
So many good topics.
Oh my God. Where do we start?
Y'all want to talk about ass?
I always want to talk about ass.
We can start there.
Yes.
But who's ass?
I got a question. And I want y'all to really think about this question.
60-year-old
I
ass.
need some ass right now.
Out of the 4 of us,
Oh,
because I do
Jesus.
want to include Pierre as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going to talk about our 4 asses?
First off, Regi, I didn't even know you had an ass.
Word.
Thank you.
I
That's
never
that,
even looked like
that is the
one of
only
those?
correct response.
The fuck are you
Thank you.
talking about,
No,
bro?
because the 2 sentences that you said, I didn't know if you were going to try to connect them, but
I you have an ass? What? That's
Oh my
news to me.
goodness.
I had no
Never
idea.
Regi.
But I wanted to ask y'all, out of the 4 of us,
Yeah.
okay, who is the most likely to tell Mike Tyson to cover his ass?
I don't think any one of us is that brave.
I'm brave.
Oh, Mr. Pectoral Muscles.
There's a way.
Oh,
That's hate. That's hate.
You
All
going
you gotta
to
do is do some push-ups, buddy.
and you know I did. You just saw me counting them the other day. So you gonna walk up to Mike P and tell him like, "Hey,
they
dog,
cover up.
cover up." What you gonna do?
There's a way you gotta do it. Just like, yo,
I
Mike,
think Pierre
nah.
would joke about it, yeah. And I think SaVon would because SaVon would be with the shits. Like he'll be like, "This is hilarious." Like I think he would do that.
Yeah.
I think he'll say it. Like I feel like you wouldn't like try to stop him.
Do you think I'd be cool with Mike's ass just out around me?
You're not gonna tell him to cover it up.
His trainer was.
No, that was his son.
That was his
no.
son.
The guy standing behind him.
Well, his trainer, like trainers don't really count.
Yeah.
Trainers are like lunch aides. What the fuck are you doing here? Like you're just there to be there.
Like I wouldn't scold him like, yo, Mike, your ass is out. Put this stuff back on. I just be like, yo, Mike, you might want to put a towel on you.
Nah. Because now you telling him what to do. You gotta hit him with, yo, Mike, I think you forgot something. On your ass.
No, I feel like if he did that at such a crucial moment, clearly he did that purposely. Like he wants to put the cheeks out there. So no one's stopping him.
Y'all seen it?
Yeah. I saw it live. Yeah. We don't watch the fight?
I didn't watch it in full because I mean I can't. I feel so bad during fights, but I know what happened.
Okay.
For sure.
So
I got the spark nose.
Let me tell you what's supposed to happen in TV world, right? Because this is my field. Usually, if the dude in the locker room is naked, you don't. If he's walking away, you zoom into him.
Yeah, but Pierre, you're thinking about like football games, basketball games. They're trying to sell a fight.
You gotta put a little bit of ass on it.
Mind you, this was the interview before they fought.
Yeah,
you know, so they're trying to get people excited.
Oh, so was the ass planned?
Hell yeah, the ass planned.
Him being naked was planned, but I don't think the camera operator knew. Hey, he's walking away. Let me make sure to get his ass in like that. I think that was a mistake.
No.
I think, but I honestly, truly think, we've all watched Mike Tyson our entire lives.
Yeah.
But I've been paying really close attention to Mike Tyson over the last few years.
Oh, really?
And just because, well, you know what really sparked it? I had a chance to meet Mike. And when I met him, it just kind of increased my just interest in him as a person, as a boxer, just as a human, as a father. Like he's one of the most important, polarizing figures of our lifetime. Just through his story, his personality, his mannerism. He's one of the most identifiable people on the earth. You get what I'm saying? So Mike Tyson, he's just one of them ones. And one of the things that I've noticed with Mike, he's been trying to free his ass for a very long time.
This not the first time?
No. This is the first time I've seen his ass. I've never seen Mike Tyson's ass until we've all seen it together collectively. You can judge that. You can tell me how you feel about it. Yeah. Whatever was going through your heart when you saw that, you could tell me. It's cool. Right now? Like in the moment, I don't know. But he's been wearing really, really small boxers in like training pants for years now.
Okay. You got to do that.
You don't have to do that.
You gotta show your shit.
It's like spandex.
You don't have to though.
If I'm trying to intimidate the nigga I'm fighting, show my shit.
What you do?
Whatever them Speedos he had on, just throw them shits on.
He's been wearing like really small Speedos for years now.
I didn't realize
and
that.
I think the night of the fight, he just was like, fuck it, I'm gonna let it out.
Yeah, it wasn't like a Speedo. It was like strappy.
It felt like sumo wrestlerish, but without the ass cheeks. I don't know. It's weird. But to the camera operator, they panned down to
the ass.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, yo, y'all had to have planned that.
And a little stunt, you know?
And to whoever was in the control room probably didn't tell him, hey, you're still alive. But yeah, I think.
So who's your vote? Who do you think would be like, you know what, Mike? You got to cover up.
Oh, in the room?
Yeah, out of us.
Y'all would send me out there, yo. I feel like y'all would send me out. We can't send a producer. Shout out to Killer.
I don't know. I'm more like, my rebuttal is like, why would we have to tell him to cover his ass? He could do whatever he wants. Like that's what I'm thinking of. Like why does he have to cover his butt? Like why?
Any dude that could fight like that,
yeah,
leave your ass up.
He got it.
Leave your ass up.
Yeah, like why does someone have to go in and tell him like, yo, cover your ass? Like, no, it's Mike Tyson.
That shit happened right after his son eloquently interviewed him right before the fight.
He was nervous.
And then Mike laid a nice kiss on his son. This is a guy who was very comfortable in his skin.
That's what I see.
He's very comfortable in his skin, you know? SaVon, would you elect to go and tell Mike?
Is that why you're asking us this question?
No. I think he wants someone to go.
I just wanted us to, I kind of wanted to see like our bravery levels. So this past week, we've had some guests in the studio. It's really tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough being an owner, a studio manager, owner, whatever it is, in all capacity. It's a lot. It's a tough gig because you never know who's going to walk through the door.
Never know.
So we had some guests in the studio.
Lovely guests.
And their guest wanted to smoke in the studio. Now, this is generally speaking, and maybe when Alex is doing his shift, it's a smoke-friendly vibe, right? Depending on the management, it depends on who can smoke.
It's like which parent is home that day.
It's kind of one of those things. Me, I see people sparking up in the studio, and I get tense. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get called.
He got so tense, yo.
I'm like, wait, hold on. Like, Alex, do you allow this? Like, wait, Alex, can this happen in our studio?
Yeah.
Right? And so I had the luxury. So I thought Alex was just going to volunteer to be like, hey, guys, I don't think y'all should really smoke in the space.
Nah. It would have hindered the message they were trying to get across. And who would we be to hinder the message that they're trying to get to their audience, people watching at home?
Well, I did it. I pulled to the side. I said, hey, man, you know... I looked at him like he was Mike Tyson.
Were you a little nervous?
No, because when people smoke in public, when people smoke indoors, when people smoke in a space, it's almost like, and I'm not going to compare anybody to Snoop, but you just expect, this is my space. This is the misconception that people have when they rent things or when they use things, right? When you rent a car, you feel like it's yours. So what you would normally do in your car, you might just spark up in the car you rent. You make whatever it is that you're using in that moment yours. Yeah. And so I feel like a lot of people, and when they hear studio, it's like, all right, music studio. A lot of people come from the music industry. Mm-hmm. They don't really have rules. It's lawless in the music world. Yeah. And podcasting world, I'm here to tell you, there's some laws.
There's laws in the podcasting world?
There's some goddamn laws.
You're right. When people in music, man, any studio, that shit is getting lit up.
It could get lit up. And then
any studio. If
there is a black Karen like me in that studio who says, hey, you might have to put that out, buddy.
So, like,
it creates a...
Is it because of the scent that bothers you?
Well, we had a guest booking after the smoke session.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure the guest after was cool.
Accommodated.
Comfortable.
I feel like that's a good reason.
That's a good reason.
A great reason. I want him to finish his story.
Why we got to finish? That was the end.
Oh, you told him to stop?
I did.
Oh, what happened? Shit. Because they kept going.
No, they hit me. No. See, I'm not. You thought. Okay. All right. I see what you're trying to. I see the picture you're trying to paint. They kept going because he was like, "Hey, for on-camera theatrics,
facts.
Do you mind if we just spark up?" And I'm like, you know what? Who am I to be like, you can't perform? You know, you got to be able to perform.
And the sort of guests they had, they were kind of promoting.
Yeah. Okay. So for that, he did. You know, they did ask like, "Yo, what's going on? Is it cool?" And I was like, "Yeah, go for it."
Right.
But you know. I had a moment where if Mike Tyson walked in with his ass out, I think I would be the one to tell him he had to put his ass away.
You think so?
I do.
Oh my God.
I do. Because I saw how you froze up when niggas sparked up in your studio.
Froze?
Nah,
SaVon, I allow it.
Yeah, that's Alex right there. That's his home.
Yeah, bro.
He might just woke up. Alex, like, did he?
If anything, what I did was, I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's get some ashtrays in here so we don't stain our carpet. And we went to the store and we got some incense.
Okay.
Got some incense, burned up the studio.
See, some solutions, you know.
We had to do it real quick. And by the time the next guest came, smell was out.
It was.
See, we're very accommodating over here at Need to Know Studios. Please book with us today.
That don't mean all of y'all come and smoke now.
Bake it out.
No, yeah, there was a very special situation.
That was a special, thing that they had going that day.
But please book with us, link in bio.
Yeah, I don't want you guys to be sitting over here debating Kanye West and whatever and then just passing L's now. Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah,
now.
It's not that type of. We're still professionals.
Come on now, ain't that type of party. But, that was a isolated occurrence.
Yeah. And also, make sure your ass cheeks is, like, covered.
They do a good job of that when they come.
Not really.
True.
Yeah.
Not in this studio, but just in studios in general.
Who had their ass cheeks out in Need to Know Studios?
That's
at the time, it wasn't Need to Know Studios. I'll say that.
Okay.
But with that being said, back to Mike Tyson.
Yeah, how'd you guys feel about the fight itself? Because I know like how crazy it was like culturally and just it was a big spectacle. But honestly, I don't know if I have like extremely strong feelings about it. So I couldn't wait to talk to you guys about it.
Yeah. Sure. Mixed feelings. At first, I heard, shout out to DJ Who Kid. That is Sirius XM's owns. Y'all know it. And Who Kid, recently broke some news about how he spoke to one of the Logan
Paul brothers.
Oh my God. One of the Paul brothers, excuse me. And that they had an agreement that no one was supposed to get severely injured and that the fight had to last at least through the 6th round.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was confirmed information.
Through Who Kid.
Through Who
Now,
Kid?
if you guys know who Kid is over the years, he does know some information that probably some folks shouldn't know. Especially, hey, during the rap battle, Who Kid has some private information.
Who Kid is very tapped in, and going back to my point of being like really invested in Mike Tyson over the last few years, Who Kid and Mike Tyson have a real strong relationship because when Mike Tyson was doing his podcast, I don't know if he's still doing it, the Hot Boxing podcast, Who Kid was a guest host a number of times with Mike Tyson.
This is true.
So I can imagine if there's anybody to listen to when it comes to insider information with Mike Tyson in that fight, it is probably Who Kid.
Who Kid?
Because Who Kid and Mike, they do have a relationship based on what I've seen on Mike Tyson's pod.
Now, what I saw when I was watching the fight, I had like two different reactions. Watching the fight and post-fight. As I was watching the fight, I'm like, damn, it looked like Mike came out a little hot. And I saw him do this one thing where he kept biting his gloves, which made me personally feel like, and I could be wrong, I know there was a big age discrepancy here, right? Jake Paul being 27, Mike Tyson being 58, of course. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, is he biting onto his glove to hold back? Because it looked like he had something there. I even saw, and I could be wrong, I'm not trying to be conspiracy theorist here, but even some of the jabs Mike threw, I'm like, he stopped his punch.
Yeah.
I saw that like a few times. Again, I'm not trying to be conspiracy theorist here, but thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't know if Mike completely exerted himself or he just got really tired.
So post-fight, the announcer asked him, hey, like you were biting, they were talking about it in the press box, like you were biting your glove.
Yeah.
What was that for? He basically said it was a tendency that he's always had since he's been fighting.
Like a tick.
A tick.
Biting sensation is what he called it.
Oh, we know.
He has a biting sensation.
Yes. We have heard. We have heard.
Yeah.
See, I feel conflicted. I don't know if it's rigged.
I don't.
I don't, like,
What?
nobody knows for sure.
What?
If I had to lean towards it being rigged or not, I would probably lean towards it's not. And I'm going to say it's not because I want to give Mike Tyson the benefit of the doubt.
What you
Personally.
mean? What you mean, yeah.
I think Mike Tyson has a little bit more integrity than taking money to lose a fight. That's what I believe. I want to believe that. The same way I wanted to believe that he was going to knock out Jake Paul is the same way I want to believe that he has too much integrity. Like, we could see he's older, clearly, right?
Close to 60.
And Roy Jones Jr. he was one of the commentators on the fight. He continued to point out Mike's legs and the lack of mobility in Mike's legs, which I think... Why are you laughing at Mike?
No, keep going. I'm laughing at
Mike.
Roy.
Why are you laughing at Roy?
For those of you guys that watch the fight, if you guys ever want to be a part of generational hate,
facts.
Please go rewatch that
Who's he
fight.
hating on?
Mike.
From the jump.
Do you remember that Roy fought Mike in an exhibition match however many years ago?
Yeah.
Did you hear his commentary?
I did.
Every 2 seconds. Oh, his legs out. Oh, his leg. Yeah, Mike done that. This is like
that was 2020, by the way.
Oh, 2020, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, Mike done that. And this was when it was early on.
You took it as hate?
The first round.
It was all hate. Are you kidding me?
No, not at all. See, y'all must have forgot. Roy Jones, I think he's just a student of he's one of the greatest boxers ever, in my opinion.
He absolutely is. Yeah.
And I think he was just assessing the fight. I don't think he was hating. I think he saw, like, he was saying, yo, his legs don't look right to me as somebody who's done this.
You are so right, SaVon. Now, did Mike Tyson beat him up? Did he win that match?
Yeah, Mike won.
All right, cool. So if a nigga beat my ass and he back in the ring, I wouldn't be surprised if an individual starts to hate or talk shit.
I don't think it was hate. I think he was genuinely concerned. I think he respected Mike Tyson so much where he's like, yo, this guy he doesn't look right. Mike Tyson, his legs look fucked up. And then come to find out,
fuck up, Roy.
Mike Tyson did have, of his own admission, a health scare. He had some health issues that affected his legs.
He's dealing with an ulcer.
Blood transfusions.
So
blood transfusions,
Roy Jones's assessment, his analysis, it didn't sound like hate. And even in hindsight, now that y'all brought it to my attention, because when I was listening to it, I felt like he was giving me inside information because he did look very limited because of his legs. His legs look very slim compared to some of the training videos, some of the videos that I've seen over the years. Like, his legs did seem a little bit weaker than they were supposed to if you're going to be fighting at that level.
Now,
Is it like, okay, I just wish I heard it because I feel like it's in the tone.
It's the tone.
No,
Thank
because
you.
like
I need
if
to
it
pull some
was
clips.
genuinely like assessing, like what's the word? Objectively.
Yeah.
That's cool. But then if it was coming across a little shady,
It
then
was-
two things could be true.
yeah.
It could be hate and he could be right about his leg actually looking a little weak.
That's exactly what I'm about to
He
tell
looked
SaVon.
weak. I don't think
He
it was
was-
hate. I'm not gonna do
Well,
that. Roy
because
Jones
he-
is
I mean,
top 5 for me.
That's you, bro. I'm gonna say it's hate.
He's not hating. He's not hating.
He didn't say anything towards a negative for Jake Paul. It was only smoke for.
Because it wasn't smoke, it was the truth. The truth is,
Okay.
I'm Roy Jones. I'm a professional. I've done this at the top of his class,
Yeah,
and I'm
that's the
watching
easy
somebody else who's done it at that level too. And he looks really, really vulnerable
No, he
right
did.
now,
He did.
and it's because of his legs. He's giving us inside information.
In the first round, it's over for Mike. He
He's
literally said word
58.
for word. Okay, and Roy 0-2, he fought him. Listen, SaVon, you are absolutely right. He is a gifted fighter. He knows his stuff when it comes to boxing. But I'm telling you,
Nice.
and leave it in the comments, y'all, this was generational hate.
I don't know if it's
No,
like,
it
is it,
sounded
hold
like-
on. Is
yeah.
it hate if like we know that he has a health issue with his leg and he keeps bringing it up? That's not insider information, I feel like.
That's not
That's
hate.
obvious.
I'm
Yeah.
pointing it out.
Yeah, but that's
But
my
he
thing, though.
keeps pointing out.
Thank you.
It's like we know he has a problem with his
Thank
leg. Why do
you.
you keep saying his
Thank
leg?
you.
His
Y'all
leg,
want to
his
be
leg?
honest? Y'all
Yeah,
want me-
we
y'all really want me
always
to-
honest.
Roy Jones is a boxer. He's been fighting his entire life.
Yeah.
The motherfucker got hit in the head a lot of times. The only talking point that might have stuck in his head was how bad Mike Tyson's legs look. So if he's like,
100%.
damn, his legs, because he did say it a lot of times.
Yeah.
But you got to keep in mind, these boxer commentators, they are walking CTE.
Oh my god.
Like,
Yo,
no, for real, they
No,
are.
for sure, they get hit in the head. Yeah,
Maybe, and I don't know how the CTE mind works, but I can imagine
Oh my goodness, this is
Antonio
crazy.
Brown?
that sometimes, and you know what? Yo, you're the best.
AB.
The fact,
you're the best.
the fact
best.
that you mentioned Antonio Brown, if you've ever watched Antonio Brown interviews, he repeats himself a lot. He says the same things over because I think sometimes you get stuck on talking points and you just say the things that you resonate with the most. Or hear me out, CTE brain. Or you just say the things that you can remember or hold on to while commentating.
That's a fact.
And so
You could do all that and still
maybe Roy Jones was saying, yo, his legs, because that was all he could see and think about because he might be dealing with some mush in his
Well,
head.
he spoke throughout the night, and Roy was very eloquent.
Nah, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
There's no
He
eloquent
did say
boxer.
other points.
He said other points.
Like-
Well, that's the real point I'm trying to make. Thank you,
You
Regi.
didn't watch the fight.
I said I didn't watch the entire thing. I did watch it though.
What other points did he say?
Mad other points.
That he looks weak in the leg. Yeah.
Weak leg, weak.
Shout out to
Hey,
Will Smith and his CT movie Concussion.
Concussion. Go watch that. I'm gonna put it like this: if somebody beat me up, and I get an opportunity to now watch this person fight, and they look like they're at a disadvantage,
Adam.
guess what's coming? Hate.
I think it was more respect, man.
No,
I'm telling you,
It could
I
be
didn't
both.
sense any hate.
It could be both.
I didn't sense any hate during that fight. But
It could be both. Yeah.
I think
yeah.
it was rigged. I honestly
I'm
think
not mad at that.
The first few punches of the first round that Mike landed, it knocked Jake off his center. You
I
could
saw
tell
that.
he still had a lot of power behind him.
He had some power.
And you could tell at different points where they weren't really hitting each other, or like there were open shots that Mike could have took that he just didn't.
I feel you. There's a lot of speculation around the fight. I think ultimately, I don't know how I feel. And I feel really, really bad. I feel really sorry. I feel a lot of empathy for boxing purists. Because these type of events, these type of fights, they draw the most attention.
Yeah.
They draw the most commentary. They draw the most money. But it's not the art of boxing when you see Jake Paul, who he's clearly turned himself into a professional, but nobody would consider him a top fighter in the world.
no.
Doesn't he only
And-
fight people who like are retired or like aren't that
Amateur.
great?
He actually
I
fought
don't know.
Tommy Fury, who is an actual boxer, and lost to him.
Mhm.
Oh, lost him.
He lost to him. So when he actually got to, and they're in the same age range,
Mhm.
when he actually got to fight someone in the same, category. as
But did
him,
he like put
lost.
up a good fight?
Yeah, no, he put up
Okay.
a decent fight, but Tommy definitely won.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest of it has been like Nate Robinson and
Just gimmicks and money draws and
oh
money
my-
grabs.
MMA fighters who never boxed before. It's
He
like
knocked
shit.
Nate. He
Dog.
knocked Nate out, right?
he did he. You remember that meme?
Nate is looking for a kidney.
Oh my God. Yes. No, all jokes aside, go help Nate out, yo. We love Nate.
He's fucked up.
He is. No,
You can't talk about him getting knocked out.
We could talk about what happened in the past, but y'all need to help him right now.
If I get knocked out, I need a kidney too.
That's not why he needs a fucking kid.
Nah, just know. I'm not saying that's why.
Chill, bro.
If you ever catch me on camera and I get slumped, whatever you want to call it,
That shit is pain.
I'm fucked up too.
That shit.
That's so crazy.
For real. But going back to the Jake Paul point,
Yeah.
he hasn't fought like an actual competitor in the eyes of many. So yeah, it leaves a lot of speculation with this fight. I don't know about it being rigged or not, but I do feel bad for people who really are invested in the sport.
You want to know why I also think it might be a bit rigged? When the fight ended, Jake Paul kept calling out other fighters, and he kept referencing, "You guys need me. You guys need me." And I'm realizing he's meaning his money. So if boxers and people in the industry know that, hey, if we go get with Jake Paul, we'll make X amount, I wouldn't take it off the table. Especially if that's the pitch he's running with. He's not even trying to hide the pitch. He's saying in post-interview, y'all need me. Y'all need me. Y'all know where the bag is at. I'm like, oh, so you're not even trying to hide. You're not even trying to make it seamless for the sport. You leading with the money.
He's just saying it out in the open. And the one thing I want to talk about with the fight, like what Alex is saying during I don't know if you're talking about the same, like when the post-fight speech or something.
Yeah.
I feel like not a lot of people are talking about it, but not as much as we should. I don't know. I found it very alarming. I don't know if I'm just reading too deep into it, or I was like, does anyone else not find this really alarming? He said, the night's not about me, man. I want to give a thanks to all the heroes, the U.S. military, the doctors, the nurses in the ER, the cops, the firefighters, the farmers, the truck drivers, all the people that make this go around. And then he said something along the lines of like, honored to be part of America. It feels like we're back. So I don't know. I just felt like the underlying tone and message of all that, especially right after the election. I don't know. I just when I heard that, I was like, oh, like, was that the point of this whole spectacle for you? Or no?
I see what you're saying. That could be a point. I don't know.
I just found that very like
nothing is off the table.
Like overt, like in my opinion.
I don't think anything is off the table for somebody who won't just be an actual boxer. Well, I take that back.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
If you're about the money, you're gonna stay in exhibition.
Yeah.
If you actually care about winning belts and going down as a pound for pound fighter, you're going to actually enter the correct league.
Like in the biggest moments, you'll also try to attach other things that might equate to some type of financial gain.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a good call.
I'm not mad at that. I get that a lot. It's funny because the next night, that Saturday, John Jones, he fought in the UFC.
Oh my God.
Tremendous fight. Probably, not probably, easily the greatest UFC fighter of all time. And his messaging after his fight, he paid a nod and an ode to President Donald Trump. He did the Donald Trump kind of dance.
He did it.
And so I think some of these guys in fight culture, combat sports in general, I think it leans one way. And I don't know the psychology behind it or the correlation behind it, but I'm not surprised when I see, these fighters get in front of these cameras and these mics and give an ode to the things that they want to resonate with or they give. In the same breath, John Jones also shouted out Jesus Christ. And so, this is a man who
used to do coke before the fight. He did.
Is that allowed?
You gonna tell him to put his ass cheeks away too?
I would tell him, but I would have to have gear on.
From afar. Tell him from afar.
You would tell him to put his ass cheeks away.
If I had gear on?
If Mike Tyson and John Jones walked in our studio, assless chaps, straight Prince style, are you telling them to put their ass away?
Okay, but that's unfair because you walking in a wholesome podcast studio with your cheeks out is completely different. There are fighters and they're in the locker room with their butts out. Like I feel like that's fine. Like
those are
they don't
gladiators.
have to cover up.
Yeah, what you think they used to do in Rome? Them gladiators.
Regi, you gonna tell them to put their ass away?
I'm literally just telling you, I would not tell them to put their ass away.
How would John feel?
With what?
If
he does not care.
If you didn't tell Mike Tyson to put his ass away, you think John's gonna be like, "Yo, why you let his ass out around?"
I'm not telling Mike Tyson to put his butt cheeks away in the locker room. Who am I to tell him that?
We got to get John on the pod.
You think he would?
John wouldn't care about that.
You think he would want me to tell Mike Tyson to put his ass cheeks away?
No,
like, why would he want that? Like, he does not care.
There's a lot of women that will send their dude on a crash out mission.
What?
Like
Why?
a crash dummy
That's
mission.
So
All because,
stupid.
we was talking about this earlier at work. Like what would happen if y'all ever saw like y'all fathers get beat up?
Don't
You see what I'm saying?
say that.
That's easy for me.
I will cry right now.
You see
Don't
what
say that.
Because we was talking about a scenario and like
can't.
one dude really saw his pops get beat up and he was never the same. Because on the low he felt.
Why are you laughing?
My fault, Mom. On the low he felt like if his pops can't defend him, who can?
That is a scary feeling.
Pain.
You have to defend yourself.
Yeah, that's what it told
It's
him.
different for me
That's
though.
what it
If I
told him.
feel like my dad can't defend me, that's a very scary feeling. I've never felt
See?
that because he always protected me. But if I ever saw that, I don't know what I would do. That's very scary.
That's why I really do push-ups. I'm preparing for a child.
The first time, so I liken this to my dad, and he's never gotten beat up in front of me.
Oh, I know. I could tell.
Mhm.
But when I play Call of Duty with my dad, and I'm down, I be like, yo, bro, come res me, gang. Like I'm fucked up. A nigga done snipe me one shot, pow, to my head. I'm down. I need a res, and my dad is on my team. And the first person I call out to, hey, yo, daddy, come get me.
It's beautiful.
Help me. Say, like we got
Dad,
help me.
Can you help me?
And there was this one time in particular where he said, yo, I got you, son.
Yeah, you believed it.
A nigga laid him down. Sent him to the gulag.
I love a good father-son story.
He got sent to the gulag, and
Yeah.
that was the closest I've ever seen my dad get beat up. But to your point,
Wait, but he won, right? I don't know. I don't know the terms.
no, he got the gulag is the equivalent to hell.
Purgatory.
Oh, no.
Dad got
I didn't know that's what that meant. I thought
Yeah.
gulag was like winning whatever. I don't know.
No. He got put out
For on your behalf.
he tried to save me,
At least it was digitally.
but they
also, he couldn't
folded
save
him.
you.
And I told him, I said, yo, bro, that's the equivalent of you losing a fight in front of me.
Yo, think about that.
Oh my god, this is like Your Honor on Netflix. Please check it
Oh
out.
my
Oh,
God.
please go watch that.
I just got to season 2, episode 2.
You finished it?
Wow.
Okay. We'll talk.
I'm
we'll
glad
talk
y'all
after.
catching up.
Y'all finished it? I finished.
Nah,
we
I
can
didn't finish.
Season two?
spoil it. I finished the whole thing.
No, but I tried to say the ending, but you guys said I shouldn't because people might still want to watch it.
Nah, you can tell Andy. Fuck them niggas.
No spoiler alert.
I don't know. I feel like we have a lot of topics today.
All right, cool.
Forget to
I'm
it.
still watching. I'm still
Speaking
watching.
of spoiling things, speaking of, just going through stories and TV and adventures,
Yeah.
J. Cole put out an audio adventure. Now, I do not want anybody to ever refer to this podcast as a podcast. This is the Need to Know audio adventure.
How didn't we think about that? No, I
No.
think he's calling it an audio series.
Yeah,
right?
audio series.
No, he said adventure.
He did?
He
Are you
called
sure?
his shit an audio adventure.
I've heard Joe use that before.
Or audio series, whatever you want to
He
call
said
it.
audio series, and
Like-
he said
I
it
remember
reminded
that.
him of an audio book almost because of the journey.
It kind of reminds me of Alex typing in lowercase.
Why?
You gotta find a way to just be mad cool for no reason.
That's it. That was my first thought too. I was like, Cole, this is a podcast. Just fucking call it a podcast. It's literally
It's a pod. Like, it's
And
okay.
I was
Yeah.
listening to it. I was like, this is how I remember podcast sounding. Like this, I don't know if you guys have listened to it at this time, but like to me, I was like, wow, this is like a podcast. But he refuses to call it a podcast for some reason. It's 10 episodes. Like what?
What's the name of the audio adventure?
It's called Inevitable. J. Cole and his longtime manager, Ebe, and Scott Laser, who documents like their entire journey. They're all very close. They dropped a 10-part series of them like reminiscing, playing unreleased tracks, going through the journey from when he first started rapping up until now. And it is full of gems. I really like the way they did it. It feels like very genuine. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
And this conversation is from 2022, correct?
Oh, yes, they recorded in
Yeah.
2022 because the origin story is like, oh, Eve found this old laptop. They started going through it, whatever. Listen to it. They explain that whole thing.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that they didn't drop it right after they recorded because this is my theory, like they were working on clearing all the samples for the mixtapes, the come up, the warm up,
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights, because they paired each episode with the release of mixtapes on DSPs.
That are available
Which
right now.
blew my mind because if you know mixtapes, every song is basically a really hard sample. So
Yeah, it's hard to get those cleared. I remember he asked Kanye to get them cleared sometime last year when he was on stage. And you guys remember, he kind of went at Kanye on False Prophets. So it seems like, the two of them have reached a resolution of sorts, maybe. So that's cool to see. I think what I do like is that the episodes are being released 2 days from each other.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if anyone else has ever done that.
I think it's good.
That format. That's kind of.
I think it's good for retention, right? Like if we know it's going to be a 10-part series, to kind of keep them there. And also, last time we saw J. Cole on a podcast, it was on Yachty's Safe Space, which is no longer a safe space because they ended the podcast.
I'm telling you, that Safe Space, it got 2 meetings.
It does have 2 meanings.
It has 2 meanings.
Absolutely.
Wait, what do you mean by
one
that?
is actually safe and one is really not safe.
At all.
Yeah.
Like dangerous.
Dangerous.
But he did hint on that podcast that he was working on something like this to be coupled with the rollout for his album. So then I went, now that I see it out, I'm like, the Fallout looks to be coming out very shortly. Should be exciting. I'm down. I'm with it.
I don't know. I kind of like it. Like, I like that he's taking us through this journey and putting the mixtapes back on all major DSPs because now people can reminisce and be like, you know what? I want to think about this area of Cole, like the warm up, the Friday Night Lights era. And especially because of everything that he's been through in 2024, did not put him in the best light. So it wasn't the best time for him to retire. But if the fall off is what we think it is, like him actually falling off, like that would make the most sense. I don't know. I kind of like him going out like this, not gonna lie. Like doing a whole audio experience, being like, this is what I did for the culture. Please remember, like this was his whole journey over 20 years, and then dropping a really fire album and bowing out gracefully.
You mentioned reminisce. There's been this theory going on the internet the past week that Cole took a similar route as Drake, right? We know Drake put out 100 gigs and it was nostalgia, reminiscent of how he came up, etc. I kind of debunked that for J. Cole just now because, like I said, he did mention that he was going to do this on Yachty's Safe Space podcast. But as a Dreamville fan, Regi, do you think that was part of the play here?
What do you mean?
Trying to get everybody to remember all the good stuff, like
Dreamville
the early
fan Regi. Like, I'm not wearing a Dreamville shirt.
All right.
Please acknowledge my friend's shirt.
Shit.
I'm not wearing anything today.
I'm not wearing it on my chest.
Shit.
When you ask these Dreamville questions,
Include SaVon.
include me.
My fault, Twain. So I gotta ask the both of y'all. Yo, this is urgent.
Wait, what do you mean, like the?
So like with 100 gigs, right? We assume that Drake released it for everybody to kind of remember, right? To
Like
kind of
what he did? Yeah.
go through the times of why we enjoyed this person and
Like,
how they've grown.
I'm not a pedophile.
I'm not a pedophile. Made your favorite song.
For
You know
sure.
what I mean? Do you feel like some of that was with this release for J. Cole in terms of maybe how people looked at him from not wanting to go head to head with Drake and Kendrick Lamar, etc.? Do you feel like that was coupled with it?
I don't think they dropped it at this time, which would be like November 2024. Like, I don't think they dropped it because they're trying to do damage control of like, oh my God, he's getting a lot of critiques in 2024. I think they've been planning this all along.
Right.
And it was more of like, not like, hey, remember everything I did, guys? Like, it not that tone, but it's more like a celebration of his career.
Yeah.
Like a trip down memory lane. I don't know what people, like the average consumer thinks of this because I remember like literally listening to these projects like in 2008, 2009, like when they first dropped. So this is like extremely nostalgic for me. And I'm like the target audience for this. So I'm thoroughly enjoying this. So I don't know if people are receiving it well or not because I'm just talking to a bunch of J. Cole fans right now. We're all hyped. So
A bunch of SaVons.
I love it. So yes. So do you guys think it was a good play or is it kind of not landing? What are people saying? Because I don't know.
Me, right? Me being the Dreamville resident, you know what I'm saying?
You just switched them
Everybody
cakes, boy.
go to YouTube and please look at SaVon's shirt.
The Dreamvillian.
You will get a new cake, won't you?
I am the residential fucking Dreamville man. All right.
Yes.
When I saw it, so one thing I've noticed is it's really, really tough to hate on Cole. It's really hard because his brand, his marketing, or maybe just who he is very genuine. And it comes off as if I want to do this for y'all. It's very reminiscent of Andre 3000. And what I mean by that is Andre 3000, Lil Wayne, those two artists specifically seem to just live and exist in their own world.
Yeah, for sure.
Rap, hip hop, the landscape, the market, the stock market. nothing seems to matter or affect these men in the way that they go about their product. It just doesn't. And so something like this tells me that, or it shows me, that J. Cole is just doing things because this is what feels good to him. Now, maybe he has me fooled. Maybe his marketing just works really, really well, where I'm so naive to the point where I just think he did it because he loves his fans and, hey, he's going to give his fan base the Dreamville inside scoop, right?
Yeah.
But that may not even be the case. Maybe it is a situation where there's a desperation act to it, where I think like 100 gigs seemed and felt a little bit desperate. And a lot of people saw through that, which is why it didn't really resonate, because it was like, all right, bro, you're doing a lot because you just went through a lot, you know? Whereas this J. Cole play, I don't know, like, it's hard for me to quote unquote hate on it or really critique it, because this just seems to be very on brand with who J. Cole is.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm always going to give. Right? Like, Regi, you always talk about you went to one of his shows and you paid $1.
I was just about to say, I was waiting for your beautiful rant to finish, because when you say, like, it seems genuine, the things he does, because he just cares about his fans, like, at the height, this was like Born Sinner, Forest Hills Drive era, like, he was really just like taking off. That was when he was doing these dollar shows and in major cities like New York. So charging fans $1. He did not need the money. Like, it was just simply because he's like, I really want to do concert for you guys. And like, he does a lot of free shows. He does a lot of things where like he'll drive around in like a bus and like visit people like off a whim. Like, he does a lot of shit like that. So
Yeah.
obviously I'm biased, but I really do feel like his like quote unquote tactics are very genuine.
Like, do we think J. Cole wants to be liked? Do you feel like he's one of those artists? You know, there's some artists who don't give a fuck, or some artists that need that reassurance from their fan base, etc. Do we think J. Cole is one of those guys?
I do think he wants his fans to be happy, which does translate into, you know, I want them to like me. Like, I want them to be happy with the music I'm putting out. Like, I don't want to just be like, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna do me. He doesn't give me that at all. So I do think he wants to be liked.
I think being likable is a part of being an artist and being a creative. Like, you want people to enjoy and like the things that you put out into the world. But I also think there is an underlying message that J. Cole in particular gives when he shows up, right? Like, it's one of the things that it's one of the few critiques that Kendrick Lamar has, which is, yo, Kendrick, when DJ Mustard dropped an album, I didn't hear from you. You didn't promote it.
That shit did like 11K.
You were quiet.
I mean, but again, that's like you said, his MO, right?
But DJ Mustard was a pivotal person in
his victory,
slaying the giant of
the Toronto
Aubrey
Giants.
Grant. Yeah, right. Like,
for sure.
DJ Mustard was somebody who allowed you to launch into that space, and so when people see, oh shit, Kendrick could be doing this, should be doing this, like even the Ab Soul situation. Ab Soul just dropped his album. He didn't post it on his primary account. Allegedly, Kendrick Lamar posted it on like a burner account. Now, granted, that burner account, he's Kendrick Lamar, so anything that he does, anything that's associated with him is going to get attention. It came up on my feed that Kendrick Lamar dropped any type of promotion or support for Ab Soul through his burner. But would it really kill you, Kendrick, if you supported some of the people that supported you publicly?
I don't know. It's tough because I know a lot of people that be cool with people and don't support shit they do.
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to J. Cole, he seems to be the most authentic out of the three. And as long as you're authentic, and as long as you're genuine, and as long as you aren't trying to pull the wool over our eyes, it's easy to support you. It's harder to go against you when you're just being yourself. And every time I see J. Cole, no matter how I feel about him, whether he's dropping out of the biggest rap beef in history, according to some, whether it be he's riding a city bike in the Lower East Side of Manhattan,
Tribeca.
right? Whether I see him never wear jewelry and only wear sweatpants and have nappy hair, even though he's half white, right? Like, there are certain elements of him that he's just really consistent in, and this is just who he is. And his messaging is very consistent. His brand, his marketing is just consistent with who he seems to be.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because recently, this is something we sort of talked about, but it is something we didn't really mention on the main pod. But I do think it adds credence to this conversation about the perception of J. Cole and how people are viewing him. Recently, I think you guys have seen Ari Lennox kind of went on a bit of a tirade on social media kind of letting it all out on the table about how she feels about Dreamville and her rollout processes,
The lack of support.
or the lack of support she was quote unquote looking for. Reggie, am I right or wrong? Ebe, right, that J. Cole is doing the podcast with, does he not run the Dreamville roster?
Yeah, he's president of Dreamville.
He's the president of Dreamville, right? I did find it to be a little bit interesting that the two of them did it, but not so much so because, again, Ebe was part of the processes early on, so I could see why J. Cole would want to do that, but pretty convenient.
What do you mean?
Like, the Ari Lennox thing was just a couple weeks ago, and I think that was the first time, because even with the rap beef, right, I don't think people really killed J. Cole. I think people that were rap fans were upset because they were accustomed to seeing artists react a certain way, right? But his fan base was all, y'all was telling us, yo, guys, he didn't want to lose a friend. He didn't want to lose his friend, right?
That is, I feel like a little bit of recency bias because now we understand why he did it. Like, damn, like that really was the right decision for you to step out. But at the time, people were definitely killing J. Cole and be like, what the fuck? You're not a part of Big Three anymore.
But
don't
the fan
ever
base,
talk about
though, the core
will always stand by Cole. But I feel like overall, people definitely switched up on Cole like crazy and be like, you shouldn't even be mentioned in the Big Three. Don't ever say the GOAT again. I remember that people were killing it.
Okay,
like,
so then we take that.
But real quick, before we move on to what you're about to say, no, that still stands true. Like, don't ever call yourself the GOAT again. Don't like that. What you said, I think two things.
They
can
gonna make
be
you
true.
take off that Dreamville shirt, boy.
No. I can support third place. I can.
I mean, in hip hop, I don't think he can ever say he's the greatest rapper, but I think for millions and millions and millions of people, we can still say he's our GOAT. I feel like that's completely valid.
I'm never gonna knock anybody for saying who their GOAT is because GOAT is very subjective, and it's somebody who like the people that I support are not necessarily the greatest ever, right? Like outside of fucking maybe Tom Brady, the person that I'm outwardly supportive of. Like I don't think everybody's the GOAT that I fuck with, but I still
Neo is the GOAT.
He is.
I support mad non-GOATs.
He is.
Yeah, but I do agree that in the scope of hip hop, J. Cole is not the greatest rapper of all time.
Yeah, he can be, and it is okay
because of what he did. Yeah,
but this is also this just is on brand. Like a lot of people have been saying, and is this going back to the top of the podcast? Y'all tell me, because I'm millennial man for real. Like I really live this millennial shit.
You're deep in the millennialism.
I like embrace it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Reggie and I are like the last year.
I think Alex is a true millennial as well, but I think I'm low-key like a zillennial. I don't know. I be relating to the Gen Z girls.
Well, don't forget, Reggie, you and I are on the cusp. We're literally the last year of the millennials.
Literally.
I feel like I'm a little more Gen Z than you, though.
You are. But
because I know all the little trends.
But the music taste? And lingo? See, I'm there in lingo and music taste.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. He does listen to like younger rappers than me and stuff.
I love trap music.
And celibacy.
Not right now.
Well, no, I'm just...
Wait, celibacy with which generation?
No, like millennials don't practice celibacy unless they've been whores.
I can't believe I tried to tell you a riddle and you just like knew the answer. I'm sorry. I just thought about that. I'm sorry because I was thinking about the top of the pod. Sorry. So I said, okay, continue with it.
He's a superior man. Superior men do that, right?
I just interrupted. Sorry.
No, you're fine. But I'm mad. I do think, right, to the Ari Lennox stuff, which I hope is being amended.
Oh yeah, I
know most people are gonna completely forget about all of that. But
maybe I ain't gonna do that.
What you mean?
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it.
What happened?
Why is it meme?
It's not meme, but I think it's real. And when you're real with people who are sensitive or have a persona online that don't seem to have tough skin. I don't know Ari Lennox. Yeah. I know she's a phenomenal artist. I think she's super talented, but she does come off as sensitive. And in the era of songstresses, the Snow Allegras, the Hers, the Scissors, obviously Ari Lennox, they're leading the charge of R&B and that style, that genre of music. I think Ari in particular hasn't had as much
commercial success.
Yes. Commercial success as the others.
Yeah.
And so, not saying that has anything to do with whatever her recent rant was.
She snapped with Shea Butter Baby, though.
She did. And again, I said she's definitely one of the ones. I'm not trying to knock her at all. But you know, when you have a J. Cole and you're standing next to such a bright light, maybe you could feel like, yo, I deserve that. I need that. Or why isn't it? I don't know what's happening internally there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take everything with a grain of salt. And I don't know her dealings. Maybe J. Cole and that management really is shelving her or holding her back. Like if she left Dreamville, maybe she could be the next Beyonce. I don't know. But from what I do know, you know, she seems to be very limited, and the art that she's putting out isn't crossing over in a way that maybe she feels like it should.
I see what you're saying, right? But for me personally, that was probably the first time I've seen J. Cole as a human. All the bike riding, all of the living frivolously and not buying a bunch of designer, whether it be, you know, that was the first time where I was like, oh my God, this is a regular person. You're a regular dude, just like the rest of us. Because a lot of the talk with J. Cole has been like, oh, he's perfect, he's a great guy. And I do believe for him to be a great guy, though, right?
But I also don't like the pedestal, like the moral pedestal he's put on, because he has never said that.
And I don't like that it's been created.
Yeah.
I like the fact that we finally got to see him be a human. Hey, somebody that signed onto you has a problem, and the world knows now.
Yeah, and like shit is not going the best.
It's not.
Yeah. I completely agree.
I love seeing him in that because for me, I would assume that it would be super easy for. That's why I asked if E was still running Dreamville. I would assume, but again, we know how the music industry runs. I know J. Cole doesn't have full responsibility of all the tasks for the day or for the Dreamville roster. I know that to be true, absolutely. But I would assume for it, maybe a person like Ari Lennox to feel comfortable to continue to approach a Eve or a J. Cole about rising matters for her career. So for me to see that, I'm like, oh wow, I guess we're not perfect.
You want to know what's messed up? I was talking to Kieran a little bit earlier just about the different landscapes of certain industries. The music industry, and Alex, I've told you this. I'm like, you are a madman for wanting to be a part of the music industry.
I don't.
There's nothing. No, but you did. Whether you do today, no. When I say that, right, like because music journalism, music media,
that's music.
No, but listen, that's a lot to me. That's a little bit different than being a music producer or a music artist or a music manager or a label. I think they're two different buckets under the same umbrella. One seems to have a little bit more of a higher success rate. But for Alex, I used to always say, like, yo, bro,
you're a madman.
Why do you want to do this music shit? Like,
and I'll respond, you got to do it for the love in the music industry.
I was gonna say because he loves it.
It can't be anything else.
He does. And I empathize the same way that I empathize for boxing fans early in the episode, the way that I look at them and I feel for them, because as somebody who, like, if I had to pick between boxing and MMA, me personally, I'm more drawn to MMA. I'm more drawn to the structure, to the entertainment value, to the fighters, to the sport in general, because the structure of it is just a little bit more different. It just serves it serves the actual fighter, the participant, and the fan a little bit more than boxing. Boxing has been known to be a little bit corrupt. Boxing has been known to just be in a really weird space because there's no true regulations.
And you can only use your hands.
You can only use your hands. Like, from a technical standpoint,
MMA, you could use your
tongue. And from a business standpoint, it's just different. Like,
you can use your tongue.
Nah, they be licking on their blood.
You're a freak.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just saying, I empathize with people who want to be a part of the music industry.
Yeah.
Because somebody like an Ari Lennox, who could be a fucking like superstar in this space, she's just limited because of her situation. And it doesn't behoove anybody. When I see shit like this, when I see a really talented artist, two really talented artists, one being J. Cole, one being Ari Lennox, right? Two extremely talented artists, right? Come at odds because one artist is signed to another. It makes me feel like, why would I ever want to be there? Because outside of the few exceptions, and anybody who was signed to Jay-Z during the Def Jam era, like the Rihannas, right? Like, yes, technically that was a Jay-Z product because he was the head of the president of the label at that time.
Yeah.
But when I say, like, yo, I'm going to start a label, I'm going to sign an artist, I can't think of too many examples where it's been successful outside of maybe Young Money. Young Money, Wayne, he got Drake, he got Nicki Minaj, and then he ran it up.
Incredible.
And now I know
Don't forget Tyga. Don't forget the hitmaker Tyga.
No, Tyga too.
Tyga had some
No,
slaps.
no, for real.
She can get a taste.
I used to fuck with coconut and the lime shit.
You remember? Put
Lime
that
and the
lime in the coconut and mix it all up.
But like, no, for real. I was there. I was during that era. So I get it. Tyga, he's one of the ones too. Out of the Wayne trilogy, Wayne fucking tree.
Yeah,
but
hitmakers.
in most cases, I always see artists like Rick Ross, Gucci Mane, Yo Gotti. There's a lot of artists that create labels, and then you just don't hear much, or you just don't see much, or things just don't work out for whatever reason. And I don't know that reason, but I just feel depleted because if I'm an artist, right, and one of the biggest artists in the world signed me, I'm gonna be so hopeful. I'm gonna feel like, holy shit, I made it. But they never seem to really fucking make it
because it's tough, yo. See, Lil Wayne's an anomaly. He literally brought Drake and Nicki Minaj to us. See, those other imprints you mentioned, I'm realizing a trend that there's usually one big star on the roster, and then they probably get the most amount of attention. For instance, CMG, Glorilla running it right now. For a while, it was Moneybagg Yo that was running it up. Damn, MMG, yeah, shit. Oh shit, I ain't got nothing for that one.
They had like an era.
They had an era.
Yeah,
they had an era, but currently, I don't really see it. I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying. It's tough.
Just in general, like music is tough. It's truly tough. So
and getting signed to a huge artist, like when Kendrick was still at TDE, I don't know. It's like a gift and a curse. I feel like.
Look at OVO.
Yo.
I don't know.
Look at OVO.
We need to open a case study with what is happening in OVO, like the music label, like because every one of their artists. It has not been a smooth journey. Like it's always been like, where are they at? Like, what's going on over there? Like the whole the joke about like, oh, Drake has them in a dungeon, like just writing songs. Like Party Next Door, Roy Woods, Division, Majid Jordan.
Can't front. OVO got a wicked NDA over there.
These are talented
like what's
artists.
happening? Yeah, what's happening?
I'm sorry. Even Division that you just mentioned, they're literally being managed by LVRN right now. Which is home to Summer Walker. Shout out to
Black.
Yeah, Black
too.
Yeah.
Black.
So it's like, hold on. You're under OVO, but essentially a whole nother label is running the operations for this artist. It's crazy.
But for me, when I hear that, when I see that, it's discouraging. And it also goes into my point of what I said before about the Party Next Door and Drake album. Like,
nah, that's gonna be a smoker.
I'm not saying it's not gonna be a smoker, but what I'm saying is some things are too little, too late. I think you're gonna. Some people are just undeniable.
He cut his hair.
Some people are just undeniable. He did cut his hair.
Album coming.
I think Drake is going through the earliest midlife crisis we've ever seen.
Nah, he always changes his aesthetic
around the album time, right?
Yeah.
Drake is going through a midlife crisis, in my opinion.
I can see it.
Or is it a midlife crisis, or is it a bit of Arrested Development?
I just don't. It could be both. And
I think just after what he's been through this year, he's just resetting a little bit.
Right, just reset it real quick. Yeah,
like a big reset.
Yeah, you know how they say with women, not to call Drake a woman, but you know how they say if a woman cuts her hair, she either has gone through a lot of stuff, or has gone through a lot of stuff.
Actually, I do agree with SaVon a little bit with the midlife crisis thing because he is. A lot that he had to reconsider after this was like identity and like all of that stuff. So yeah, I agree.
Also, one of the things with midlife crisis is there's a lack of self-awareness.
Yo.
A lot of the times when somebody is going through a midlife crisis is when they buy the big fancy red car. Right?
The red Rari.
Everybody else is looking at you like, yo, that's great. But wait, what the fuck?
The drop top too.
And that's what I feel like is happening with Drake. Personally.
What is he doing?
He's just not self-aware in the fact like you shouldn't wear two braids with barrettes in your hair as like there's just certain face like the duck face needs to be retired in 2025.
Duck face
like,
a lot.
They've allowed you to get that off of a long time. And if you weren't Drake, I think you would have been criticized a lot harder than you've been. But because you're Drake, you get the slack, you get the leeway.
Yeah.
there's a lot that shows Drake is just in his own world, so to speak.
I see what you're saying. And maybe we're saying the same thing. Like I said, I mentioned Arrested Development. I think it's a bit of that because I see a dude who he doesn't want to really embrace going into his 40s.
For sure.
You know, you see,
you
I'm
did
getting
say this with the project. I don't know if it was For All the Dogs or something,
It
but like
was.
the shit that he was rapping about.
And I loved For All the Dogs, but I'm a little younger than you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to realize and understand that, oh wow, this is the content you're kind of still in your life. Because again, art imitates life, right? So if this is the art you're putting out, I'm not mad at it. It just is a reflection of what's going on right now.
You know how you avoid that?
What's up?
No, for real. I'm
listening.
that was an ask. Like,
Oh, do I know? Me
do
personally.
you know how to avoid that?
It's going to sound crazy, but it's part of what makes him him, right? He's always attached himself to the newer acts who are usually probably like younger generation.
This is why me and you are right here.
Yeah.
Because that was really a rhetorical question.
I know.
You avoid that by writing your own music.
Oh, man. I mean, he does. Not all of it these days.
And your own experiences. And your own encounters.
Yeah.
And honesty.
And we got that on a lot of the early projects.
Are you saying he's not writing his own shit?
No, he's not. We know that.
I thought we were saying it sounds like he's writing his own raps because he's rapping about the same thing, but he really is stuck in life.
No, it sounds like maybe he is writing some of his own raps.
It
sounds like he's pulling inspiration.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like other people are collaborating with the writing that he's doing. It sounds like he's taking verses and styles and
people
flows.
Yeah,
it sounds like he is pulling from other resources to get the product that he's putting out today, which may not be resonating in a way that people want it to resonate. That's what it feels and it sounds like and it looks like. And then going back to like the 50 Cent Ja Rule shit that we talked about on a few episodes ago, it's fucked up because people, I don't know if this is true. And I'm going to wait until 2025 to like say this and stamp it.
Okay.
But Drake sounds different to me
sonically
since Kendrick Lamar, since that whole beef happened.
Yeah, you did say that. Kendrick got to you, huh?
Not just Kendrick, but the overall message, packaging, and just marketing of Drake sounds and feels a little bit different since the whole Kendrick Lamar exchange.
You know what it is? I don't think us as fans have ever put an age on Drake. He's always fit the moment. He's always fit the sound. He's always fit the times, right? So when Kendrick started talking about his age and shit, I think some fans were like, oh shit, whoa. Because, for example, this guy I'm about to mention, he recently just put out an album, Schoolboy Q. He put out Blue Lips. And on that project, you hear a 38-year-old who wants to embrace his 40s. You hear it. Mm-hmm. It's clear as day. He's talking about feeling older, understanding that he's not as young as he once was. Well, Drake is not like that. It's more like, nah, son, like, I'm still fly. And I think he is. He's fly cat.
Schoolboy Q was talking about taking his daughter to school, picking up golf. Like, I personally love it.
Right. And Drake has mentioned his son in music, right? But not the same way like a Schoolboy Q would be. And they're the same age.
Yeah. He had his son in the whole video. The Charlotte one.
Oh, he did.
Wait, Drake is 38?
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah, they're the same age.
He's a real millennial.
Yeah, for sure.
It's giving millennial. Oh my God. So, when SaVon, I was like giggling to myself. When SaVon was talking about how like it sounds like Drake is, trying to emulate the styles of these younger artists that he surrounds himself with. I just thought about J. Cole when he was on Cash Copaine's Grippy.
And
he was talking about, he was like, what was it? He's like, I'm gonna take your kids to Disney. Make sure to be Mickey. Like, what was?
That was the line. You said it. I'm gonna make sure I take your kids to Disney.
I want you on the stick like Wrigley's.
But even with like that was a one-off, right? Because we heard J. Cole features after that.
He doesn't do that often.
Yeah, he's right back to, all right, cool. I was playing in that field, but I'm right out of that. With Drake, it's more like, nah, fam, like, I'm not your old niggas.
He's still holding on to that.
Yeah, he was. I forgot what song when he was shooting at. I think it was on Scorpion. One of the. I'm beefing with guys much older than me. All that shit. It's like not too much. They're not too far off
but
now.
Like,
gang.
what do we? No. What do we? I do agree that he's pushing 40 and he's kind of still like, yo, I'm still cool. Like it's giving like I'm still cool, guys. I can still hang. But like, what if? Like, what else do we want from him though? Like,
I said
What if that's truly him? Like this personality he has, like is truly him.
But Regi, you know what's crazy? I said that, right? I said art imitates life, right? And it's a reflection of what you're going through right now. During the rap battle, I mentioned this here. I was like, it's so ironic that we received his most introspective music early on in his career, right? Usually it's the other way around.
That old Drake hits so different.
It hits when he's talking about his upbringing and his family and his mental. Like it's crazy.
I'm gonna play an example of what it is that we want from Drake. And it doesn't mean that hard. We need this like all the time. But where is this?
Styling no. December got pictures with me smiling no. As though this is Drake being Drake. And not him trying to emulate younger people. This is Drake right here.
This feels
in the go. Huh? On my nose. Huh? Rose. That's it. And at the studio. Huh? Huh? All the love I need is here at OVO.
I'm just trying to look back at his discography and see the last time he was like this.
Regi, think about his album cuts from Nothing Was the Same, from Take Care. It sounds pretty mature. I'm not saying Drake is immature now. It's a grown-ass man. He does what he wants, right? But if you listen to it, if you would assume for all the dogs to come out before Nothing Was the Same. If no one ever met Drake before and they were just blindly listening to his catalog, I think you would assume for all the dogs to come before something like a Nothing Was the Same or Take Care.
But I think the introspectiveness just kind of has gone away. And also just the style, the cadence, the things that he's talking about. Like this is
tell me stories.
This is who he is at his best.
Being vulnerable. No, being vulnerable for sure. Yeah. My eyes at night. It's about my private life.
You get what I'm saying? Like
it's the reason why I've really heralded his R&B music as of late, because he's always going to be vulnerable there.
Like what we need basically is another care package, like that type of sound.
I want to be mad at it.
Okay, but like 2025 version of that, right? Not like an old song.
Care package was like his older
stuff.
No, like that, like
that sound.
To me, that collection like sounded a lot like this, like songs like this.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah.
I'm trying to look back on his albums and try to find songs that do sound like this. And you guys are right, like he doesn't give us this anymore.
Furthest thing from perfect or Nothing Was the Same. Like it's just certain records that stand out.
The fucked up thing is with Drake is like he's such an amazing actor and entertainer and performer. Is that the lines get blurred. Whereas again, just going back to I got my cape on.
Oh, we know.
So I got the shirt. But just going back to J. Cole, I've never had to question his authenticity. I've always known, whether it be for better or for worse, I've always known where he stood, and I've always been able to assume based on what he gives us who he is and just where he's at in life.
Yeah.
So even when he dropped out of the situation with Kendrick and Drake, none of us liked it. All of us criticized him. All of us looked at him different. All of us felt like, yo,
what did you do?
In the imaginary game of who's the best. Because at the end of the day, ultimately, like, I know we're very passionate about music and sports and competition, but there is nothing that officially says you are the best. There's nothing else. And even numbers, I get it. We try to scale people. We try to limit people. We try to, rank people based on the numbers. And the numbers do mean something. But I'm going to go back to a famous quote that my guy Jim Carrey said.
Hey.
Nothing matters.
Nothing even matters.
Right?
Yeah. Actually, it was Lauryn Hill that said that. So
yeah,
I don't even know who that is.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, you do.
Who's the last person that got Artist of the Decade? The last artist to receive
Drake.
that?
I think Drake did. And you got a computer.
Besides Drake.
You should look into it because you got the computer back there.
Because you just said,
I'm not sure.
You just said there's nothing that really defines who's the best, right?
Yeah, but even that wouldn't define someone who feels like they're the best, right?
But what I mean is by nothing matters. And again, Pierre, I would love for you to look that up to kind of give us the information. Mm-hmm. But what I mean by like nothing matters is like at the end of the day, music in particular is very subjective and is going to depend on what it is that I like, what I resonate with, who has the most marketing dollars. Like nothing does. No, it doesn't matter
So
at
look,
the end of the day.
I found it.
What's up?
So it says here's some winners of the Billboard Artist of the Decade of the Award of the decade. What am I saying? The Decade Award winners, right? 1980s it was Madonna. 1990s it was Mariah Carey.
Okay.
2000s they have it listed as Eminem, and then 2010s is Drake.
Yeah. That sounds right.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, why do we have to listen to that? You know what I mean?
You know what? You know what we've never talked about on this podcast?
It dawned
that
on you? What
I
just dawned on
cannot
you?
wait for us to like talk about once we get to like number one. Do y'all realize the Billboard has been giving us the pop stars of like the last 20 years?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
They're
No.
ranking the pop stars
I've been
of the
tracking
last
that.
20 years.
Yes.
And
I wanted to talk about it, but they didn't
They
reveal
didn't get
the
to number
first.
one.
Yeah.
No, they haven't gotten to number
so
one.
I kept it. Yeah,
So
kept it to
maybe
myself.
once we get to number one, we could talk about it
It's
in
gonna be a
full.
good list.
But I'm looking at the pop stars.
You want
And
me to read some?
Go for it. Let's do it.
Okay. I think I just found it because I was walking into the studio. I'm like, you know what? This might be dope. Oh fuck, I can't find it, y'all.
Well,
I'm
while
sorry.
you pull that up,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what hurt me.
What hurt you, brother?
That Ed Sheeran is not number one.
Why would he be number one?
Ed Sheeran be number one
Why?
over Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Rihanna, Drake.
Early Ed has some hits. It's like when Ed Sheeran first came out, everything he put out was
I think
just
Ed
fun.
But
should be number
keyword, you
one.
said some hits. We're
I
talking about
think
over the course of the whole decade.
Personally,
kinda sad.
over their whole decade, I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
give you top three, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong, which
Okay.
I know I don't.
Oh,
you
we
got
will.
it. You got it pulled up.
I got it pulled up.
All right, cool. My personal top three: Ed Sheeran, Rihanna, Justin Bieber.
Well, you got one.
I did. Did I really?
Yeah, Rihanna's at third on this list. At three.
Three?
Wow.
So the list
And
goes.
Drake is 4.
Yup. The list goes as of now. Again, we'll circle back when we get 1 and 2. Right now, it is 3 Rihanna, Drake at 4, Lady Gaga at 5. Wow. Britney Spears at 6, Kanye at 7, Justin Bieber at 8, Ariana Grande at 9, Adele at 10, Usher at 11, Eminem at 12, Nicki Minaj at 13, Starships.
at 10.
That shit just went diamond, by the way, Starships. Justin Timberlake at 14, Miley Cyrus at 15, Jay-Z at 16, Shakira 17, The Weeknd 18, BTS 19, Bruno
Shout out
Mars.
to my Koreans.
Hey, shout out to all the Koreans. Bruno Mars 20, Lil Wayne 21, One Direction 22, Bad Bunny 23, Ed Sheeran 24, and 25 Katy Perry.
Nah.
He's top 25. He's
Yo,
top 25.
recount.
Say that.
Yo,
top 25.
Wait. Yo, like 8 years ago, what did Trump say? I need to recount. Recount the motherfucking votes.
Stop
Ed Sheeran
the
is
vote.
what?
Keep it a buck.
Stop the.
And they did him a favor. I would have put Katy over him.
Over
Katy
who?
Perry?
Katy Perry.
Over who?
Ed
Ed
Sheeran.
Sheeran.
Over who?
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran.
What the? That's racism.
California girl.
You're hot and you're cold. You're
Yes,
yes and you're no. You're in and you're out.
Don't-
You're up and you're
Yo,
down.
don't
You're
start.
wrong when it's
Just
right.
Stop. He's about to
You're
start
black
playing
when
Ed
it's
Sheeran songs
leave me
now.
We
alone.
fight, we
Can
break.
you leave me alone?
We kiss, we make up.
You Lord, leave me alone.
I don't want to smoke. You got it. So I don't want to
20,
smoke.
24 and
I
25
don't
is
know,
cool.
so-
That's cool. But that list, I feel like we haven't given it any attention on the podcast. That list has intrigued me for like the last 18.
Facts.
It's
They just won't
consumed
finish it.
because this is the perfect list of like bringing everybody together.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get pop. We're gonna get Latin.
Mhm.
We're gonna get hip hop.
Mhm.
Like everything. We're gonna get BTS.
Yeah.
We're even
Korean
throwing
pop,
the Asians in there.
K-pop. We're
Yes, we
gonna
are.
get a little bit of K-pop. Shout
Yeah.
out to the Asians, all right?
Because pop stars are just
we're
popular.
gonna get everything in one list. And now Billboard has seemed to be the most credible source, right? For us. I take this source as being extremely credible. Now there's only 2 spots left of the time of this recording.
Oh my God.
Rihanna being
the fuck
number
else?
3 is insane to me.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I'm not saying she doesn't deserve it. Y'all know I'm Rihanna Navy. If I could change this cape to Riri Fenty right now, I would.
I don't know if you're Navy, if you're saying that she doesn't deserve number
Come
3.
on,
say
No,
man.
I didn't say she didn't deserve it. I
Okay.
said it was surprising.
But
I didn't say she
that-
didn't
Where-
deserve it.
Where would you have put it?
I didn't say I
Where'd
will
you
put
put her?
Rihanna number 1.
Okay.
But the term
That's
pop.
really my heart.
Oh,
for
you would
real.
put her number one for
Okay.
real?
Yeah, that's my heart.
I like
for
that.
real.
That's
You know
your
what I'm
lung?
saying? Shout out
Let's
to
not
Riri.
forget Umbrella, SOS, Pond de
Right.
Replay, like
Take a bow.
Take a bow. Come on.
Unfaithful.
And the like
Diamonds.
pop star
Diamonds.
is short for popular, no?
Yeah.
for sure.
So if we talking popularity, I'm not gonna lie, Rihanna's pretty popular.
All right, so who's
Still.
2 and 1?
Okay.
2 and 1.
One is Beyonce.
or Taylor Swift.
Oh my God, you right.
Nah, I think T Swift
Oh,
would definitely,
shit.
especially with the resurgence with, well, not resurgence, but her and Trav.
shit.
T Swift.
No, I think they're gonna put
I
Beyonce
think they're
as
gonna
number
put
one.
Beyonce though.
I don't know.
Longevity.
Who's the president?
Who's been famous longer? Who's been
But
popular
also
longer?
like just variety too.
Yeah.
Like I do respect Taylor Swift's music. Like I'm not a T Swift hater, but like if you see like the skill level
Mhm.
side by side, like what are we talking about?
Respectfully.
Like why are you putting
Yeah.
Taylor Swift
Yeah,
over
that's a
Beyonce?
fact.
I've heard
Like,
that is a
Beyonce.
fact.
I've heard Beyonce sing in every key and transpose while she's singing.
And
And every
dance.
genre.
Nobody cares about talent.
Who don't care about talent?
The Billboard. Because this is a
Girlfriend.
They love this shit too.
this is
They love
different,
this shit.
bro.
Word to me, they love
I
this
think
shit.
this might get number 1.
Nah.
That'll be crazy.
I'ma tell you why.
Humor Like I
know
Yeah,
Beyonce
Regi.
from Destiny's Child, yo. Don't just delete Beyonce's early career. Like, she's been out longer than Taylor Swift. I
It's
can't
re-
do
it's-
it.
Who
There's a lot of
moves
recency
more
bias.
units?
Right now, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
The recency
Yeah.
bias could be a thing because sometimes you don't wear this.
I wear t-shirts. I'm on the bleacher.
This might be number 1, bro. They're gonna flag the shit
I
out
ain't
of this
gonna lie.
episode.
If I was Caucasian, man.
No, we gotta mute it.
That shit would have went.
You belong with me.
But you know what? I could see SaVon's argument though, solely because I
Whoa,
saw.
whoa.
What's up?
I'm not arguing.
Oh, my fault. Your stance.
I'm
I'm sorry.
So
I'm
you don't
making a
have-
case.
you don't have
I'm
the case
sorry.
for it.
My number
Your
1
case.
is
Yeah.
Beyonce.
I,
Oh, I thought you said Rihanna.
It didn't sound like it just now.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
thought
what
you
you
were
was
saying
sounding like,
T-Swift.
Taylor.
No.
Oh,
Time
okay.
out. Based
Time.
on their list,
Yeah.
between there's only 2 options left: Beyonce and Taylor Swift.
Uh-huh.
My vote is Beyonce.
Okay. Well, I could. Let's say you were fighting for Taylor Swift, right? I don't need the aux. If you were fighting for Taylor Swift, I wouldn't be surprised because she just re-recorded her album and did a milli, like went platinum
She's great.
on a re-recorded album.
That's insane.
That's insanity. So if they gauging it by the numbers and impact, then you know what? Either or, I get it. But nah, you can't take away what Beyonce did for me as a child.
I'm
And
sorry,
I-
Billboard, if you're listening, if
Come
you're
on,
doing
son.
it based on the music
Yeah.
and what the pop star has done for music,
Right.
please pick Beyonce.
And
Please.
I think Taylor Swift's last tour did $1 billion,
Yeah, that's crazy.
right?
Yo, chill out. Don't be talking about her stats right now. P.
No, what I really
While we
think
fighting for
need to
Queen
do-
B.
What, and I'm gonna be completely honest, be completely transparent,
Mm.
because I don't know a Taylor Swift fan. I don't personally. I don't.
Same.
I know a few.
I know people who respect her work. I know people who acknowledge the greatness that she puts out into the world. Me personally, I always admire and respect people who write their own music, who perform their own music that they write. I think that's one of the allures for me personally behind Ed Sheeran, right? Like, I know Ed Sheeran has written songs for Taylor Swift.
I got some stats if you want.
I've
brother.
known Ed Sheeran has written
You still
songs
talking about Ed?
for Justin Bieber.
Yo, he's still,
Like,
he's still
no,
talking about
I'm just telling you what matters to me.
Take
Like,
long.
everybody has a different scale of
Yeah.
what they gauge people and things on.
You
So
think Ed wrote everything?
no, not everything, but I know there's a significant amount of music that has been written for artists,
For sure.
and Beyonce included. Beyonce hasn't written everything that she's wrote.
Beyonce don't write nothing. That's still my girl.
But
I don't
that's
know where she got this, like, she's not a songwriter narrative from, but
No,
continue.
Because I don't think she
No,
ever
no, no.
claimed to
She
be a
wrote
Let's
Be
Bills,
songwriter.
Clear.
like she wrote Independent Women, like she wrote like some of the biggest songs of Destiny's
Oh,
Child.
no. Let's
No,
be
no.
clear. She's too busy to. She's written a lot early on.
She does
As
use a
of-
lot of songwriters.
Yeah,
though.
as of late,
no.
I don't blame.
I'm not
Nick,
gonna let y'all
what?
get this off. I'm not
What?
gonna let y'all.
And
get
we love her, like,
Reggie.
but
Who?
come on.
Don't make me do this.
What?
Don't make me, because
Uh-oh.
we love Beyonce.
We do.
She's not a
Be careful.
songwriter.
No, she's a songwriter.
She co-writes her song, and you know what co-writing in the music industry is yo, you know what, Alex? You give me a song. You give me all the lyrics. You give me the structure.
Yeah.
And you know what I do?
Take the credit.
I just change the tone of the note.
or the pacing of the song.
I just change like
tempo.
That and that's what the music industry does. It's not necessarily, she's not writing. She's getting writer's credits.
Sure.
But she's not sitting down with her notepad
but she
and
has
writing
before.
music.
She has before, but the
what?
bulk of her music, no, she hasn't written the bulk of her music, but she definitely has written her music.
I don't know if she has.
Okay, that's fair.
I don't know her because most writers write for other people. Most yes. Don't say
no. What I say,
most writers,
but that's not what I was saying. Into I'm talking about Beyonce. Like I don't think if she would care to really write for others, just because of the type of person she is.
Because she's not a writer.
I bet.
Like caring to write for others is not a thing in the music industry. You're either a writer or you're not. If you write music, you write for yourself and you write for others, and then whatever comes from it comes from it. If you're not a writer, if you're just an artist and a performer and you're really fucking talented the way that Beyonce is, people give you things, submit things to you, and you alter it to making it in the way that it goes out into the world for you.
Palatable, yeah. But you feel like Beyonce has never written a word of her music?
I think she has collaborated with people.
So in collaboration, she would also add her own lines, right?
Yeah, I think that's I think that's possible.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But again, from a technical standpoint, from a credit standpoint, sure, that's a writer. But from the way that I perceive a writer to be, it is somebody who sits up in the lab and says, hey, I hear a song, I hear a melody, I hear a beat, I hear a cadence. I'm going to write a song to this. I'm going to write a song structure to this. And here, this is the magic of that song, which is why songwriters get such credits for the things that they put out. I think that Beyonce has been a star for a very long time. Even when she was in Destiny's Child, like she's been the star. I don't think, and it's not a knock. Like I think we also got to shift the narrative around writing and credits and all of these things, especially when it comes to singers. Like if Beyonce never wrote a single song for herself, I don't think that takes away from her greatness. But I think attempting to take credit for writers, people who actually sit down and create a song for her, and because she changed a line, because she changed the word, saying, "Oh, she's a writer."
No, SaVon, I feel like she's a pop artist. She's the biggest pop star of the century. Like I clearly know she uses plenty of songwriters in a lot of her songs, but I just feel like what you're describing, like, oh, songwriters sit in the studio, hear a beat, and write. Beyonce does that a lot. There's documentary. Yes, she does. She literally explained how she wrote Partition, how she wrote the song about her miscarriage, how she wrote Independent Women. Like, I feel like
I know.
What you mean?
Feel like I agree that she uses songwriters, but she is a songwriter, and there's been so many narratives that she never writes her own music, and that's just simply not true.
She doesn't.
I don't think she's the stereotypical.
You don't think she writes her own music?
Yeah, she.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up online right now.
Okay,
and it literally says that. Go ahead, Alex.
No, you're fine. I want to hear what you're saying, Pierre. Huh?
So this says, I'll read a little bit of it.
Okay.
It says Beyonce writes much of all of her own songs. In fact, she's credited as the lead writer, the lead songwriter on each of the Renaissance 16 tracks, and is credited with writing at least part of all of the songs on Lemonade.
Yes,
there's more, but
I understand what SaVon is saying. SaVon is saying, "Hey, man, she gets songs, and we're gonna say that she wrote it because she puts her credit for it, right?" What I'm saying is, I don't think she's a traditional writer. Like she's not a Jonte Austin.
Like
that's a writer.
I know.
What do you mean a traditional writer?
But hold on, let's stay there. Is Jonte Austin the star that Beyonce is?
We're talking about writing.
I know. I'm going to a bigger point, SaVon.
No, you're not.
Let me finish.
The base is writing.
If the base is writing, but I'm a writer, if Beyonce's a writer and Jonte Austin is a writer, but she's a fucking superstar. Yeah, you know what? I might put more of my energy into being a superstar and not just a traditional writer.
I'm not knocking her for that.
I'm not saying you're knocking. I want you to understand the difference between the two, right? Jonte Austin is a brilliant writer, but he's not as popular as a Neo. He's not as popular as a Mario. These are just facts. But we know how brilliant he is. That doesn't take from who he is as an artist. Yeah. But he's like not the artist that Beyonce is.
It goes further with Beyonce.
Y'all gonna make me do this.
Nah, play it.
I hate doing this. I didn't want to do it.
Not me. I know she don't get everything.
I didn't want to do this.
Drop it.
This is the actual.
To the left, to
Yeah, everything you own in the box to the
This doesn't
left.
prove
Anything,
anything.
'cause we already said
we
people write
said
her
she
music.
uses songwriters, and you pull up a reference track that we all know.
We already
Like
knew
what?
You ain't breaking nobody home.
But I
At the
guarantee
same time,
You got it. You got it. You got it. She never writes any of her music.
I'm pretty sure if you listen to that word for word,
Yeah,
that she had altered some things
Of course.
on it.
of course.
When you're
From-
Beyonce, you don't want to show any weaknesses. And I hate to break this to
don't think
our
that's a
favorite
weakness.
superstars. But no, I'm not saying it's a weakness. I don't believe it's a weakness. But I think artists believe that it is a weakness because when you get on stage, when you perform these things, when you introduce these things and you say, hey guys, I wrote this song for all my ladies. Yo, for my ladies in the house, I wrote this for you. Like, no, that's not being honest in the process of how this record was created.
But
She didn't write certain songs, and it is okay. There's nothing wrong with it.
no, it's nothing
But
wrong
I
with
think when you have an image to protect, when you have, music and contractual obligations, people are gonna just conform to whatever it is that you say. Going back to Jonte Austin, right? Like, I don't know Jonte Austin's story when it comes to writing music for other artists. But what I can say is, and again, this is no shot. This is no shot. We all love Beyonce. She is not a traditional
writer,
songwriter.
but she's still a songwriter.
She's not.
SaVon.
She could. It can't. It's like she's
it
not.
Are you
can't
in
be
the
black.
studio with her?
That's what I'm
She's
saying,
not.
bro.
She's
Like you
not.
saying shit mad black and white,
She
bro.
is-
You need
she
to
has-
be in these
she's-
fucking sessions, bro.
She's been making music for over 20 years. She
Bro,
has
she
over thousands of
contributed.
songs.
Mhm.
She has written
Come
a
on,
lot of
bro.
those songs.
Do you know how those
it's just-
sessions go,
This
bro?
is just like, I'm
They-
sorry, but this is just like a fact. Like, it
It's
is literally a
SaVon.
fact. Like,
They
people
they present ideas, they present completed songs. A lot of the time, Beyonce or other people, pop stars like her, as a writer, go in and go, you know what? I'm going to rewrite other portions and sections of what I want.
So check this out. If you go on
Yeah.
Apple,
Mhm.
right, you
Mhm.
look up Irreplaceable. At the end, where it says written by, it tells you everyone who co-wrote the song. And Shafar Smith, who is Neo, is also credited for writing that, as well as Beyonce.
Facts.
Okay,
But
so
again,
I thought we knew this.
we-
like,
we
what
been
is-
said that.
I'm not.
No,
and
but from
what
what
I'm saying is because
Mhm.
there's a lot of people who may not understand this, and we can move off this because I don't want to. Like, I didn't even think we would get here.
Yeah.
But if I put it like this, Regi, you're an artist. There's a beat, there's a song, there's whatever that comes into play. I'm like, oh shit, this sounds really great for Regi's voice, cadence, marketing, image. I think I could really get this song down to who she is. Boom. I'm gonna write this song out for Regi. Hey, Regi, perform this song for me. Regi gets the song. She's like, yeah, I love everything about this song, but this line right here, it just doesn't feel like me. It just doesn't seem like something I would say or maybe something I stand for. So yes, I love the song. I love the cadence. I love the melody of the song, but I'm gonna change this right here. Okay, SaVon. I love everything else, but I'm gonna change this one line,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're gonna perform it. And cool, boom. The song goes to do amazing things. Technically speaking,
Mhm.
she's gonna get a writing credit
For sure.
because she heard something that she didn't fuck with, she
Yeah.
didn't like, it didn't make sense for her,
Right.
and she changed it.
But why
So
are you-
now,
but why-
listen,
but-
wait, I'm not done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we gotta let him finish.
But
yeah,
now-
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But now,
Mhm.
right? She got the song. She's like, this part doesn't resonate with me. I'm gonna change this.
Mhm.
And this is the final product, right? So the collaboration, the combination of everything that I wrote, I gave Regi the skeleton
Mhm.
to this song. I gave her everything from the melody to the lyrics. She just changed an entire verse and said, hey, this fits better for me, right? She has to, based on the standards of what this industry is. Now she's a credited writer for that verse
Yeah.
because she changed and wrote whatever. She inserted her personality into the song.
Facts.
But from a technical standpoint, she didn't sit down, hear the beat, come up with the message, and write that song. She may have changed one of the lines that I
SaVon.
gave her.
SaVon.
She's not a writer of this.
But you're talking
Technically,
about-
she didn't write the song.
Okay.
But she does get a writer's credit.
SaVon, hold on, Regi. I want you to go right. SaVon, why are you limiting this to one line?
No, he's saying, I think he brings that up as like the bare
but
minimum,
he's being
the one
specific.
thing.
No, but he's being specific about it each occurrence. I want to know why you think people only change one line. Bro, niggas change stanzas. Niggas change bridges. So if somebody changes the hook and a verse, Yeah, that's a songwriter, bro. One line, yeah, I'm sure. If it's one line, I completely understand where you're coming from. Oh, okay, cool. You only change one thing, you put your name on it, boom. Bro, there are way more occurrences of that. Like
from a technical standpoint, yes, that is a songwriter. But as somebody who has written professionally, that person didn't write. I did everything. All you did was change
the whole verse.
All you did was change it to what was comfortable for you. But if I gave
but you're writing a new verse.
But if I gave you a song, but you know what? In that verse, yes, you're writing a new verse based on the cadence that I created.
You could change the cadence when you write a new verse.
But
you can change the tempo. You could change anything you want with a new verse, bro.
But in most cases, in a lot of cases,
I can't say most cases, bro.
In a lot of cases, that doesn't happen.
I can't confirm that.
Okay, can I go? So like, I feel like this conversation is so like, to me, because I don't know why you keep bringing up, like, let's say Irreplaceable and Neo wrote it and maybe Beyonce is credited because she changed the chords or something. I don't know. I get that we're all agreeing that is a very common practice in the music industry. But what I'm saying is, yeah, SaVon, you're right. That scenario, I let you describe all of it. I was like, this is very true. This is very true.
Yeah, he was right.
But I'm talking about, there are hundreds of songs that Beyonce did sit in her room and write about, like herself, like her own life experiences, her family, all that. And I'm like, she wrote these songs. I'm not talking about Irreplaceable. I'm not talking about these songs like where she changed one line and she claims to be like, she wrote beautiful songs about her life, and you're like, no, she didn't. And I'm like, how do you know that?
Believe it. I just don't believe it.
All right, well, that's
I can't prove it. I can't
that's
prove
his opinion, though, Reggie. That's his opinion, though.
She's a superstar, and I don't think a lot of superstars that don't write their music take the time to start writing their music once they become superstars. But if I wasn't writing music to become a superstar, once I become a superstar, I'm not going to start writing my music. That's just what I believe. I don't know. You're right.
That's what maybe you would do if you were a pop star.
That's what most pop stars do. That's why Drake is in this dilemma that he's in, because he's a fucking superstar and he doesn't allegedly. No, fuck that. He doesn't write his music.
Hold on, I gotta slow you down there now. Hold on.
We don't see it. Once you become that great of a machine, a person, a brand.
But why are you speaking so definitively? You're like pop stars don't write this shit. I don't believe
they don't. So
but I'm telling you, Beyonce don't like.
But we're saying, why are you speaking so definitively and final?
Like, you're like, she doesn't write her music. I'm like, yes,
bro,
she, like,
are there songs that people have written for Drake? Hold on, absolutely. Does Drake still write a lot of his music? Yeah. Yes, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want you to just land on this definitive hill. Like, what's going on here?
But I think two things, again, going back to what, two things can be true. I think they contribute to their music, but a actual writer, like, if you go into and you're a writer on a TV show, right, and then an actor comes on and he's like, oh shit, you wrote this scenario is perfect for the character that you gave me to be. But I'm going to just change this one thing because I feel like this is what it should be done. You get a writer's credit for that slight change.
I've already agreed. I don't want to limit it to one word or one line.
But it's not, but I'm just saying, like,
we already agree with that.
But that is how finite a writer's credit is. It's not just sitting down writing on a pad. I think a writer is somebody who gives you the outline and the template. But what the creatives get the luxury of doing is saying, like, yo, I'm going to perform this. I could change this. And once I change it, I'm automatically gifted or given a writer's credit.
Yeah, because you're changing the words.
Because I know,
and you have the cachet.
But again, I think there is a difference between somebody who sits down and actually writes and structures something.
There's a difference. That's why I said it's not traditional writer, but you're still a writer. If somebody gets a reference track,
from a technical standpoint, sure.
Yeah.
From an actual standpoint, I don't believe that, and I'm going to stand on that. Like,
I can't argue with your opinion.
If I give you a script and you change the script, and now all of a sudden the line that you wrote, oh my God, she's a star because of the line that you wrote, but it's based off the outline and the hard work that I did of writing it, then you're not technically a writer, but you have to be acknowledged as a writer because of the contribution that you gave this piece of art. That's all I'm saying. I'm not knocking it. Like, I don't think that Beyonce sits down or has sat down in her bedroom, wrote verses on verses on verses on verses, and then is like, oh my God, I'm a writer. I think she's had inspiration. She has collaboration, which have allowed her to get writer's credits and become a writer through that. Yes. But I don't think she's a traditional writer. It's just like all of these rappers.
I already said that.
It's like all of these rappers who write books, right?
Yeah.
Do I think Rick Ross's fat ass sat down and wrote a book? Do I think that Gucci Man sat down and wrote word for word his life experience? No.
But do you know a lot of the times that's how the process is done? Like you'll write a mock version of what you want to be in there, and an experienced, more detailed writer comes and hones it up. Yeah. But the words and the messages is still you. So SaVon, if somebody gives me a beat and records a performance on an entire song and I change an entire verse, guess what, bro? I wrote that verse.
Even if it's a word you change.
And I don't even want to down that hill because that's what he keep running with. There are very many occurrences where people change 90% of the song. That happens too. We can't just speak definitively.
Even 1%, because then it goes back to, okay, who is this? Whose hand is this piece of project more valuable? Like, who's gonna see it and interpret it better? Is it the writer or the artist? The artist should also be credited with whatever they do with it because they're putting it out. The world is hearing it from them. Yeah, you could have a reference track, but at the end of the day, if I find that a sound or something in it is more suited for me, and I already have the cachet of being an artist, hey, give me my credit.
It's tough. Yeah,
this is just so crazy to me because I'm literally telling you, like, there is footage of her
I know.
sitting in her room, right? Like old footage.
That's manufactured, bro.
Home videos. Like, I'm telling you. And you're like, no, doesn't exist. I'm like,
that's his opinion.
I'm telling you, like, it exists.
Yeah. Even on 100 gigs. Drake was in the studio writing stuff.
For sure.
And that's like me watching that and be like, that's fake. It doesn't exist. I'm like, I'm seeing the evidence right here, but okay, fine.
That's why I was like, yo, bro, traditional. I kept repeating that. You wouldn't agree with me until just now. She's not a traditional writer, but she is a writer. That is a fact. It's unfortunate for you.
Another comparison. It's like the Keith Lee thing. Keith Lee isn't a food critic, but he's not a traditional food critic.
There you go.
But he's
not a food critic.
To who? To
he's
you,
no.
To other people, they do view him to be a food critic. It's fucked up.
This is why
two things could be true.
Bullshit.
For real.
Bullshit.
Look, real quick.
We gotta go. I did not expect us to spend the whole hour.
We could have. That could have been way less.
Up.
Nah, you good, bro.
But
because I had mad shit I thought we was gonna talk about, but we really don't got the time.
Yeah.
Real quick,
we can talk about your Dame one because I know you really want to talk about it.
It's gonna be 2 seconds before you hit that. Yeah, 2 seconds. I got.
Sorry, Kai and Anthony. We'll talk about you on Patreon.
Oh my God, yes we will. And congrats to him.
Congrats.
Real quick, y'all. Dame's portion of Roc-a-Fella has officially been sold to New York State. Yes, you heard that correctly. New York State. Boom, boom, boom. The state government bought 1/3 share of Jay-Z's Roc-a-Fella Records at an auction Thursday in hopes of recouping $8.7 million that the label's embattled co-founder Damon Dash owes in back taxes and child support. An anonymous Albany rep entered the winning $1 million bid at the federal auction in Manhattan in the hopes of flipping a 33% stake in the famed hip-hop label, which produced hits like Hard Knock Life, etc. And yeah, long story short,
how much was the bid?
$1 million.
Wow.
He had 3 people showed up to the auction. The 2 of the bidders actually arrived late and didn't actually have enough money to do it. They didn't even have like $300,000 or so.
Wow. Okay.
And fun fact, Drake actually put in a bid for it at $6 million, but after he put in a $6 million bid, he disappeared. He went ghost.
Yeah, I heard that.
I hope this finally puts the final nail in the coffin for the whole Dame and Jay-Z thing. I think that was the last remaining thing that was keeping them connected to each other, so should be interesting to see what happens from there. Salute to Dame, salute to Jay-Z, all of that, all parties involved. But I do find it interesting that Jay-Z and his representation was also present there at the auction but didn't bid, and that a New York State representative bought the shares. Above my pay grade, but just keeping y'all informed, man.
That's so crazy. I thought the auction would go a little bit better, but
Me too.
Damn.
Me too.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's all I got. SaVon, what you got?
I don't got much. I'm just tight at John Stamos a little bit.
Oh my God. Why'd he do that?
Because he put a ball cap on. When you have the greatest hair pattern in the world.
But it was the reasoning for why he did it.
Just cut it off.
No. But you saw the reasoning why he did it.
I saw the reason why.
So explain the reason.
That wasn't your point. It was more about his hair.
Like,
it was a cop out. Like
a cop out.
He and one of his
because he didn't want to shave it.
Yeah, just shave your head.
Oh yeah, that's
if you're gonna stand in solidarity with somebody who you love,
Yep.
who is experiencing cancer and they lose their hair, right? The way to really be solid
is actually do it.
Solidarity, right? To really be solid with that person is just cut your hair. Now, I do understand. You don't want to let it go when you got it. So maybe he didn't want to let it go, but I thought that was very interesting.
He looked crazy though. Because everybody could tell it's fake, and everybody know his friend really got cancer. So it's like, John.
And
Yeah, like what was this for?
The fuck,
Like,
bro? Why you ain't just? Oh,
But
that's
show
wild.
solidarity
But
by,
how
like-
long he gonna keep it on for?
maybe it was just a picture. Honestly,
You see
like,
what I'm
I
saying?
don't know.
And what do you tell your friend? Like, yo, bro, I really wanted to do this, but I can't really do it because I don't want to cut my hair. But I stand with you. Salute. Like,
And you do it for like what, 48 hours?
yeah.
I mean, just
Wow.
he should have just let it go. But I understand when it is your brand, because I saw somebody did like a collage of him in the 80s
Yeah.
and all of his different hairstyles, and I get it. I wouldn't cut that shit off
John
either.
Stamos.
I wouldn't cut that shit off.
Family
either.
matters.
Nah, you got to do it for
Not
your
family matters. I said
Yo,
family
dude,
matters.
yo.
Just don't do it at all.
I'm not bugging. I said
You mean
family
Full
matters.
House?
Full House. Yeah,
I said
yeah.
family. Oh, he
No,
said
no,
family.
no.
No,
I said family.
Oh, you
matters.
thought John was
Nah.
on Family Matters?
Nah, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna. Yo, they saying Urkel was mean. I know we getting out of here.
Like behind the scenes.
Yeah, they saying Urkel was mean.
Just saying
Behind
that.
Jaleel White.
Jaleel White, former cast members. He's been doing interviews as of recent, trying to defend his name, etc. People say he was a little bit mean on set. Eddie, what's homie that go? Oh, Diddy gave me the Orlando Brown. Orlando Brown, but we know he's a little bit cooped out these days. But he also mentioned, because he was on that set too, that he was mean. So a lot going on out there, folks.
Yeah, shout out to Jaleel White. He was on
When
a
I met
Breakfast
him,
Club.
he was nice. Yeah.
Nah, he was on a Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
And I watched that interview, and really quick, just to kind of get out of here, we don't have to stay too long on it. But I do want to applaud Loren.
Yeah. Salute to Loren LoRosa.
LoRosa.
She is phenomenal.
And
on that
salute
show.
to Jess as well, because Jess elected.
Whoa. I'm talking
Nah.
about one.
I know, but she's taking over the other girl's job.
But
Yeah,
no.
When-
Let's keep the
absence.
spotlight on
I
one.
want to highlight the person that I wanted to highlight.
Oh, my fault,
When I'm talking
My fault,
about her, I want to talk about her. And
Salute
then
to
if
Loren,
you
though.
want to talk about somebody else, we can talk about somebody else.
Feel you.
I'm here because I watched that interview in particular,
Okay.
and she shined.
Yeah,
to me.
she's good.
Oh,
She's
I
good.
gotta go
Shine
check
to
it out.
me.
I haven't checked it out
She's
yet.
So it's not a knock to Jess. Like, shout out to Jess. She's doing her
Yeah.
thing. But I don't want them to become synonymous
Mhm.
in what you just did.
Mhm.
What you just did.
I did that.
It's
It was
just make
I.
them synonymous.
You deserve
But
a pop out.
I kind of made them synonymous because I want the both of them to stay on the show.
Hmm.
I do. I don't know how. I don't know what iHeart's budget is, and
Yeah,
we'll be the last
that
ones
would
to
be
know.
an interesting dynamic.
That would be super dope. That would be super dope to see.
Personally, I think Loren fits the show a little bit better.
It's a chemistry thing, and
Not-
I
not to-
think
yeah.
I think she blends in really well with Envy and Charlamagne.
And not to demean Jess's character or Jess's spot. I just, there's a clear difference.
Absolutely, Jess still has her strengths and things like that nature,
sure.
but
What are they?
being funny, that's probably like her main caveat. No bullshit. Again, Loren has a background at TMZ.
Being funny? When?
Her name is literally just hilarious.
That don't mean you hilarious.
Oh shit, my fault. You never seen that shit?
You said her strength of being.
Yeah.
I just want to know when she's being funny on the show.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. She will cut your ass.
Nah, she will.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
she
Look,
will.
yeah. Tuck your tail.
She
You was
will.
talking.
Nah,
Yeah,
I just asked you.
Girl.
I just asked
she
you.
will fry
Nah,
you, bro.
she's dope.
Keep it calm.
I just think in that setting is
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
I watched that interview. I watched the Sean interview too. The Sean he went over to the Breakfast Club, and it was just dope.
Yeah.
And it made me think about the importance of that platform,
Facts.
the importance of the figures and the people that they have speaking on the platform,
Mhm.
and it was just dope. That
Sean
it.
was here too. We in Portland.
He was. Sean did pull up to Needs and No Studio.
Yeah,
shout out
yeah.
to Sean and
That's
shout out to
big.
Backfield.
Shout
That
out
was
to
dope.
Backfield. S.O. Heineken,
Really
what up?
dope. There was a lot that we missed today, but it is okay. We will give it to y'all next week. And if we don't give it to y'all
I don't
next
know
week,
what happened.
fuck out of here. Like, it is okay.
Catch us when you can.
The Rock flopped.
Oh my
I'm
god,
upset
you're supposed to
about
talk
that.
about that.
We didn't
yeah.
talk about that. Kanye and Anthony.
Yeah.
Big
Going to
Syracuse.
Syracuse.
Big Syracuse,
Mhm.
Syracuse Nation.
Mhm.
I'm talking like I
You don't
went
want to just give a little bit of that?
Wait, I thought we had to
No,
leave. Are we talking
gonna
about
wrap.
it?
No, we ain't gonna talk about it. But
No,
just
yeah,
give them a
shout
little
it
bit.
out. I think it's you guys know I love a good father-son story. I'm big Syracuse alumni and make it my whole personality because we're back.
there. Y'all are
Y'all
so
back.
bad.
Yes,
kiddo.
sir.
Kai, I was on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn with Lala.
That's
and
how they
Mara.
announced it. That is so fire.
Yeah.
He announced on his dad's poppin' podcast. Like, what a
Yeah.
time.
Oh, that's
With
ill.
his mom.
With his mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool to see.
I love seeing her perspective too.
Yeah. When she first entered the set, she was like, she hugged Mero, gave Cayenne a kiss, and then she sat down. She's like, oh, wait, people are going to think we're beefing. So she
Hugged him.
gave Melo a hug. I thought that was cool too to see.
Niggas in the comments like, yo, Melo gonna get his family back.
You gotta give 100 million man a hug. You have what do you do after Power?
What?
Yeah.
She is booked and busy.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm just saying. But yeah, that was a dope moment. Great moment. Yeah, this was a fun episode.
Yeah, today was dope. Today was super dope. I don't know if it's these new mics, but
I'm sorry we spent so much time
on Beyonce. It's all your fault, man.
It might be.
But leave it in the comments. Who was wrong? Who was right?
Yes.
SaVon or Alex?
Leave it in the comments and please tell us how you feel about everything. For real. We had some
Yeah,
cool
man.
time
With
today.
that being said, also really, really quick. I'm sorry. This is the very last thing. I want to send my love, my prayers, and my thoughts to my friend, my dear, dear friend, Mandy B.
Mandy.
She made an announcement this week.
Yes,
New chapters on the way. I don't know what those new chapters look like, but horrible decisions. It seems like they've gone through some things, and
End of an
that
era.
is a prominent fucking podcast in this space.
Every baddie I ever knew watched that podcast.
Every single baddie.
It's crazy.
They love
Salute to Mandy
They
and
love
Weezy.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the baddest baddies I know, and they watch that podcast.
All of
like
them.
for real, I'm not even joking. Like for real.
Even the girls that don't listen to podcasts, they
Yes,
was tapping into that.
exactly.
I'm telling you.
I thank Mandy often.
Yo, as do I.
Yes, same.
But do you
You
tell
ever
a person-
collab on a post with Mandy and see an uptick? You know what, y'all? This has been the Need to Know podcast.
What you need to know.
What you need to know. What you need to know on the Need to Know podcast. We love you all. Keep a post, leave it in the comments. Like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you soon. Gang.